Framed underneath the snowy caps of the Chugach Mountains and Pioneer Peak in Palmer, Alaska, it's opening day for the Mat-Su Miners.
It's a day of firsts for the Mat-Su Miners.
It's deja vu all over again from Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska.
The Miners begin the official second half of the season.
Let's get ready for some midweek mayhem in the Mat-Su Valley.
It is good to be back in Palmer, Alaska.
Can it get any better than that for Mat-Su? The rally outside of the valley makes it an 8-5 game.
And the Miners have a wire-to-wire win here at Herman Brothers.
Vergara on his horse looking over his shoulder in right center. He
Dies! Yes, he did! Here comes Vest. He rounds third base. The throw home, not in time. Cooper Vest scores the go-ahead run.
Sneaks behind Maltby. He can't find it. Run comes home. Tomerlin steals home.
A two-run shot for Steven Lancia. Welcome back to Palmer, Alaska.
And that ball is gone! Emilio Barach, if you didn't know him, now you do!
The comeback kids stun the Glacier Pilots.
Mat-Su, from the bottom of the valley, is atop the mountain. From the home stretch of the regular season, I'm Jesse Cook with Austin Barach, and the Mat-Su Miners are at the Anchorage Bucs, the first game in a set of 4 at Mulcahy Stadium. That first pair against these Bucs, the last 2 against the Glacier Pilots, and we keep coming back to this mess of a standings in the first place race. These teams, all 3 of them, separated by half a game, with Mat-Su in first and the Glacier Pilots and Bucs tied for second.
It's really a who's who to grab those top 2 seeds, Jesse. I mean, these games are of critical importance. You have to figure Mat-Su has to win at least these 2 to be ahead of the Bucs in the overall standings. I mean, these 2 teams scored at 4 wins apiece in the head-to-head matchup, also 4 wins to 4 wins with the Glacier Pilots. Mat-Su has the thin edge right now, but it seems that every time one of these 3 teams has the lead in the last 3 weeks in the standings, somebody else jumps them.
Yeah, this seems like in the next 5 days, these next 4 games, we'll see a preview of the championship round. These seem like the 3 likely teams, but you never know what can happen in the playoffs. You also never know what can happen on the injured list. Mat-Su has been fortunate to get players back. Steven Lancia had a few days off with a scheduled off day. Nolan Tucker had discomfort in his knee. Emilio Barach had back pain. Maddox Haley is playing through an ankle injury, but he's back and in a big way. He's played in each of the last 4 games.
Jesse, we saw Maddox hit his first home run of the season yesterday at Herman Brothers Field, and it was such a delight. And the importance of that is now we know for certain that there are 5 consecutive power hitters to lead off the lineup. You got Cooper Vest. He's got a home run. He's got a lot of extra base hits. Alex Vergara, 4 home runs. Steven Lancia, 2 home runs. Caden Carpenter, 1 home run. Had another one that was pulled back. And now Maddox Haley, the number 5 hitter, the DH. There's a lot of power up and down this on him. I'm not even talking about Emilio Barach in the 9-hole, who's got 2 himself. So this means that the opposing pitchers now, it's just a fear factor from 1 through 9.
Now, the opposing pitchers have a problem, but so is the case for the Anchorage Bucs. Their lineup has a lot of firepower. They're tied with the Miners for most home runs in the league. Camden Daly's the starter for Mat-Su. What do we have to watch out for him?
Yes, last week when he faced the Bucs on Friday, it was the walks. The walks were the one thing that were a bit steep for him. 6 walks to 5 strikeouts. Now, he got to the 5th inning, as he always does. But against a team like the Bucs, with so many guys who can put the ball for doubles, triples, home runs, especially a guy like Jackson Sorensen, who's just feasted against the Miners, you got to throw strikes and not be afraid of attacking the zone against these heavy hitters, because when walks pile up, that's when multiple RBI opportunities come to the dish.
So that's the Mat-Su pitcher. As for the Mat-Su bats, again, Nolan Tucker is someone who we've seen turn around on balls. No home runs yet, but a lot of extra base hits, including a couple triples. I got to sit down with him and talk about his baseball journey. Here's a sneak peek at the full interview. It's the second episode of Valley Chats, where we talk to members of the Mat-Su Miners. I'm your host, Jesse Cook, and today's guest is second baseman Nolan Tucker. How did you discover that you could do those things?
So the way I am with things is when there's something I can't do, it kind of bothers me. So I spend all of my time and resources into doing it until I can do it.
You were also an all-conference champion wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
How do you think that translated to your play on the ball field?
Yeah, so I was kind of raised in mixed martial arts. My dad just kind of always put me in it, and wrestling's the one I really stuck with for probably a good 8-10 years, most of my life. And I think there's a lot of lessons you learn from wrestling that kind of makes it different.
What's the team's mindset?
Win. I think the whole team believes that we're the best team in the league, and I think there's been a lot of times we've shown that.
That's Nolan Tucker. I'm Jesse Cook. Thank you so much for watching, and Nolan, thank you so much as well.
Of course, thank you. Thank you.
This has been episode 2 of Valley Chats. So that's Nolan Tucker. The full interview will be on YouTube Friday morning, so make sure you watch that, and that'll be publicized on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, wherever you get your Mat-Su Miners coverage. As for the next game, well, before we get there, we got to look back. What happened last night in the Miners' win over the Glacier Pilots?
Watch out, because the end of the season is coming right at you. So soak it all in. For the final time this regular season, the Mat-Su Miners play host at Herman Brothers Field tonight against the Glacier Pilots. And Mat-Su's got the hottest hitter in the league in Sebastian Tomlin back in the lineup. And so is catcher Steven Lancia. First time we're seeing him in the lineup since Friday against the Bucs. They got a nice stash right there. And it's a downer day on the hill as well. The righty out of Cal Baptist is set to make his second consecutive start against the Glacier Pilots. Let's go, let's do it. Alongside Jesse Cook, I'm Austin Barach. So here comes the dangerous Blake Jackson, another lefty, and he dribbles one to second base. High hop Tucker scoops it above his head and throws to first base for the out, but a run scores into Gucci from third base. The Glacier Pilots score the first run of the game pretty quickly, 1-0, road team. The righty set the deal to the lefty. The pitch is clobbered to right field. Back goes Berkeley at the wall. He makes the grab at the warning track. Tucker tags from third base. He scores easily. Tomlin races to third, and Emilio Barreras has himself a sacrifice RBI. It's 1-1.
Sanaceros kicks and deals. He swings, drives it down the left field line. That's a fair ball. It hooks over the chalk. Tomlin chases for third. He's being waved home. Relay to the plate. Tomlin motors through. Throw is up in time! Mat-Su takes the lead. Caleb Hannes has a double. 2-1 Miners. The 2-1 pitch. Lancia swings, cuts it to short. It eats up Joey Wright, skips over his glove. Best rounds third. He's chasing for the plate. There will be no throw. Mat-Su leads 3-1. Steven Lancia hit an awkward roller off the lip of the infield grass. Joey Wright couldn't play it, and now with runners on first and second, the Miners extend their lead to a 2-run game. He hurt it against the Bucs about 2 weeks ago, running through first base. Sanaceros comes set, looks at second, kicks and deals. Haley swings, drives it deep down the left field line, tailing back towards the fence. That ball is up, and it is gone! Maddox Haley plays murder ball, and the detective has left the scene of the crime. The sled dog with a very slow trot around the bags, and the Miners lead 6-1. That's the first home run of the season for Maddox Haley. He's been struggling so much lately with injuries, but that has not slowed his bat.
2-1 is swung on, drilled to deep center field. Jackson won't get there. It's to the wall. Lancia rounds third base, going for home. The throw won't go home. It goes to third. Carpenter is in with a slide at third base. An RBI triple for the big right fielder. It's 7-1 Mat-Su.
Carpenter 90 feet away. 7-1 lead for Matsu. The pitch is roped up the middle. Past Joey right to shortstop. Carpenter jogs home. And Maddox Saley has himself his 4th RBI of the afternoon. It's 8-1 Miners. The pitch. Fastball. Hit to third. Hannes has it. Throws on a first base in plenty of time. And Brandon Downer has the first 9-inning complete game for the Matsu Miners this season. The green and gold take it by a score of 8-2. Leapfrog the Pilots for first place in the ABL. What a sensational win today here in the last home game of the regular season at Herman Brothers Field. Watch out, because the end of the season is coming right at you. So soak.
The Matsu Miners begin their final road stretch of the regular season with 4 games in Anchorage. Up against the Bucs for the first 2. The first place Miners set a half game against above those gold and black. The Matsu pitching staff has its work cut out for it. Camden Daly, the starter for the Miners, going up against the team with the most RBIs in the ABL. But his offense has backed him up lately. Maddox Haley, part of that. He's got hits in 4 straight games, and he hit a home run yesterday. These are the 2 most powerful teams in the ABL when it comes to dingers. 14 apiece for the Miners and the Bucs, going at it in a high-powered offensive showdown in the heat. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Welcome into Mulcahy Stadium. Matsu going up against the Bucs. Last of the two final matchups of the season out of the 10 that they're supposed to play. This could be a playoff matchup when you consider what's going to happen next week. Those starting on Tuesday, the regular season finale for Matsu coming on Monday. And Austin, let's take a look at the opening lineups for today's game. So Matsu is keeping it exactly the same as it was yesterday. Cooper Vest leading off and playing first. Alex Vergara in the 2 spot in left field. Catcher Steven Lancia back for consecutive games after taking 3 games off. He's catching for the 2nd day in a row. Caden Carpenter out in right field in the cleanup spot. Maddox Haley, who we just talked about, he's been great lately. 4 hits in each of the last 4 games, including a 3-run blast yesterday. He's batting 5th. Nolan Tucker, the 2nd baseman, batting in the 6th spot. Sebastian Tomerlin, who's been the best player in the league over the last 7 days with a batting average right around 400 in that stretch. He's batting 7th. Caleb Hannes is batting 8th and playing 3rd. And Emilio Barreras is at shortstop. Cannon Daly on the bump. As for the home crowd Bucs, Joey Narrett is leading off in right field, followed by Lex Bodeker, the center fielder, and he's got some votes for MVP. We'll see how that turns out at the end of the regular season. Alex Pendergrast is in left field. The last time he played against the Miners, he was at 3rd base and really struggled defensively, making an error that cost the Bucs a couple runs. Jackson Sorensen is playing 3rd. He's batting 4th. Dante Turgeon, the first baseman, is batting 5th. Dylan Olpe back behind the dish, followed by Zach Thomas at DH. Logan Hokuth out at shortstop, and Curtis A. Bear, the 2nd baseman. He's really struggled this past month, just 5 for 32 in July with 9 Ks. And on the hill, it's Luis Becerra, although lately things have not gone his way either. His last start came 9 days ago. He went just 3 innings, allowing 5 earned runs to the last place Chinooks.
Yeah, Becerra has not been he's been an up and down pitcher this season.
Sounds like we're having some technical difficulties, so we're going to take a break. We'll be back for first pitch in just a bit. Stay tuned on the Matsu Miners Baseball Network. Welcome back into Mulcahy Stadium. We're still a few moments ahead of first pitch between the Mat-Su Miners and the home Anchorage Bucs. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. The Bucs stand in second place, a half game behind the Miners for first in the ABL, and this is a home stretch of the season. Both teams with 4 games to go. The Bucs wearing their white jerseys with black pinstripes, black lettering, and gold outline on it with Bucs written across the front, and the same lettering and numbers on the back in the same style. They're black hats with a white front and a black bill. Mat-Su is wearing its green, its dark green and moss green camos with gray pants, a green stripe up the side, gold hats with a green brim and the Miners logo on the front, the state of Alaska with the script lettering across, the same script on the front of the jersey in gold lettering and block letters still in gold on the back. The Bucs are throwing righty Luis Becerra on the hill. He has struggled lately. The Cal Baptist product went 3 innings against the Chinooks 9 days ago. Back on July 18th, allowed 5 earned runs in that time. In fact, he's only had 1 scoreless appearance, and it was 1 inning against the Chinooks in the first week of the season. This is his 9th time throwing, and he's going against the Miners for the 2nd time as well. The Bucs infield is as follows. From left to right at third, it's Jackson Sorensen. At shortstop, Logan Hokuf, Curtis Hebert at second, and Dante Turgeon at first. The outfield, Alex Pendergrast in left, Lex Bodeker in center, and Joey Nerett in right. Dylan Maltby behind the dish. Mat-Su's first 3 are first baseman Cooper Vest, Alex Vergara in left field, and then Steven Lancia, the catcher. Becerra, the righty, Vest, the lefty. We're just about to go. Austin, what's your key before first pitch?
The key to me is, can this lineup for Mat-Su produce more hits quicker in the game than yesterday? Yes, it was a huge win, but a lot of the hits came late after the 4th inning. Can this dangerous lineup really throw off Becerra's rhythm early and often?
Cooper Vest reached base his first time up yesterday on a hit by pitch. Lefty-righty matchup. Becerra into the windup. The first pitch misses high and away for a ball. Vest bats at a 275 mark on the year. He went 1 for 4 yesterday. Scored a run as well. The Miners beat the Glacier Pilots 8-2. Becerra kicks and deals. Vest swings and pool cues it off to the third base side. It's a 1-1 count. The Glacier Pilots are tied with the Bucs for second place. Mat-Su overtook the blue Anchorage squad for first place yesterday. Anchorage, this Bucs team has not played since Sunday. Today's Thursday. The 1-1 pitch. Vest swings, lays it to the left side, and down in the outfield on the grass. Vest rounds first, but he holds there. A leadoff single for Mat-Su's first baseman.
You love to see it out of Cooper Vest. Usually goes and pulls it, but whenever he does go the other way, it's just like, oh wow, this guy is a true elite prospect.
The same is true of Alex Vergara, who can hit an opposite field as well. He had an opposite field grand slam at home 2 weeks and a day ago against these Bucs, and that's who comes up. Alex Vergara batting on the right side, a low open stance at the back of the box. Becerra from the stretch. Fastball low and inside, forces a swing and miss. 0-1 count for Vergara. He's batting at a 268 clip on the year. Like Vest, he went 1 for 4 with a run scored yesterday. Nobody out, runner on first, nothing top of the first inning. The pitch. This is up high. Popped out of Maltby's mitt, but he caught it on the hop. The count moves to 1-1. Vest remains on first base. The Anchorage infield playing midway through the dirt. The middle infielder is back near the outfield grass. Vest being held at first. Becerra with the glove at the belt, raises his knee and fires. Fastball up high, ball 2. Becerra enters this game with a 6.06 earned run average. He's 1-1. He struck out 27 batters in 32 2/3 innings. He comes set, the 2-1. Curveball in the turf, ball 3. So Alex Vergara is ahead in a hitter's count. He's only walked 6 times this season. Of course, he's played half the games because he joined the team in late June, but still 6 walks in 19 games is rather low. Vest hanging 2 steps off of first. 3-1 count.
Becerra pitches from the stretch. Runner off for second. Vergara swings and pops it up. Foul off to the right side. Out of play. We don't often see Cooper Vest run. He has not attempted a steal this season, although he has scored on one hit-and-run play. That came against Chugiak in the ninth inning comeback 2.5 weeks ago.
Just because he doesn't run, folks, don't be fooled. He's got wheels.
Full count for Vergara, nobody out. Pickoff attempt at first, no tag. Vest is in with a dive. He does have wheels. We know that from seeing him shag fly balls. He played outfield at BYU, but he's been the everyday first baseman for the Miners. 0-0 top of the first inning. Runner on first, nobody out. Pickoff attempt again. He's back in with a head first dive.
He's also just a very fast and smart base runner. If it weren't for Sebastian Tomlin, he'd be definitely one of the top two on the team, along with this guy, the dish, Alex Vergara.
Best is first in runs scored at 23. The 3-2. Vergara swings, drives it down the left field line. That's got a lot of air under it, hanging towards the foul pole. It is just left, and oh, it's foul. Vergara put a high charge into that ball. It tailed over the fence by plenty. It easily could have been 350 feet. It's 325 down each line. Head coach Ty LeBrun is talking to the home plate umpire to review that. He doesn't like it. He thought it was fair.
Obviously a huge call. Kyle Watson immediately thought, the third base coach, that it was fair. It's very tough to see from our vantage point. You got to think Tyler Brun's got a great angle at that first base dugout position. But again, it's not like the umpire is going to change his mind and think that, oh yeah, I messed up what my eyes thought first time around.
Even if there was instant replay, that would be a tough judgment call because it was so far above the foul pole.
There's no third base umpire either who would have had the best angle, hypothetically.
Outfield is back. Full count for Vergara again. The pitch. Fastball low and inside. Ball 4. So that moves Vest to second. Vergara aboard. That brings up Steven Lancia, the 3-hitter. The catcher played yesterday, and he struggled through his first few at-bats. He went 0 for 3 through the 5th inning, but then his final plate appearance, he smashed a double to the deepest part of the yard in straightaway center. Righty-righty matchup. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Lancia in the middle of the box. A closed-off stance. The first pitch. He swings and foul tips it off of Maltby's shoulder. Strike 1. Lancia has been one of the most prolific players in the league for average. He hits at a 384 clip, and that puts him at second in the league, right behind the Glacier Pirates' Blake Jackson, who's batting at 414. Lancia in the box. Becerra comes set again. Glove at the belt. Looks back at second. Kicks his front leg and fires. This is low for a ball. 1-1 count. Blake Jackson for the Glacier Pirates, he's been great, but he really struggled yesterday. He went 0 for 4 against the Miners. He had an RBI ground out. That, of course, credited to Brandon Downer, the Matsu starter yesterday.
So technically, Lancia is in first place in average.
1-1. Check swing up high. That misses for ball 2. Technically, he's first place for average.
I'd have to. Let me reconfigure my numbers.
Runners on first and second, 2-1 count, nobody out. From the stretch, fastball high and away, called a strike. 2-2 is the count for Lancia. And his 384 mark is far below Jackson's 414 batting average. Becerra resettles. Right foot on the rubber, he fires. Lancia swings in front of a changeup and foul tips it back. He stays alive. 2-2, still the count. Top of the first inning, 0-0 the score. Austin Barach with you. Well, Jesse Cook with you alongside Austin Barach. Who's who up here? We're both blonde. Runners on first and second for Matsu. Nobody out. Becerra comes set. Glove at the belt. He looks at second and fires home. Lancia swings, drives it midway through right field. Narrett is there with plenty of time near the foul line. He looks up and makes a one-handed grab. No action on the bases, although Narrett still chucks one to third. One away, runners on first and second for Matsu's cleanup hitter, Caden Carpenter. The lefty out of Utah comes up to the plate.
After a productive day yesterday, he went 1 for 3 with an RBI triple. Becerra resettles, glove at the hip. Sarah's at second, turns back home and deals. Carpenter swings, laces it down the left field line, but foul.
Oof.
Carp, someone with a lot of power and a lot of times reaching base. He has a .259 batting average, which his percentage is up at .431. That's by far the best on the minors roster through anyone who's played since day one. He's second only to Steven Lancia. The 0-1, fastball low and away, misses. And Lancia, of course, joined the team a couple weeks in. So among those day one players, Carpenter has been by far the most efficient at reaching base. Runners on first and second, 1 out. 0-0, top of the first inning here in Anchorage. Becerra pitching from the stretch, he fires. Carpenter swings, drills it to first, fielded on the run, throw over to second, they got him, no throw to first. That puts runners on the corners with 2 away for Matsu, and Maddox Haley due up. .0-0 the score, top of the first inning. 2 away, runners on the corners. The right-handed batter out of San Diego State, Maddox Haley, comes up to the plate. He's the designated hitter for the minors today, and he's had a productive return from injury. Came back after 10 days out of the lineup. He came back on Saturday, and he's got 5 hits in 10 at-bats in the last 4 games. Becerra comes set, he deals. Fastball at the belt, high and away for a strike. Vest, the runner on third. He led off the game with a base hit to left field. Caden Carpenter grounded into a fielder's choice, and he stands on first. 2 away. Middle infielders playing back with a hefty gap up the middle. 0-1 count for Haley, the pitch. He swings and misses way in front of a curveball, low and away. 0-2 count for the Matsu designated hitter. Carpenter, 2 steps off of first base. Vest, just a casual stroll off of third. There's 2 away. An 0-2 count for Haley. He crowds the plate and stands at the back of the box. The 0-2, he swings and tails a fastball high over the backstop to stay alive. Becerra dangles the ball at his right hip, staring for the signal. Tan glove at his left thigh. Now he comes set, ball in the glove. Looks at first and third. He kicks and deals home. Haley swings and fouls off another one. That pitch was up near his head, but he touched it and stayed alive.
Maddox told us his new approach lowered his hands, like what he did during one stretch of his season at San Diego State. He said gives him more power right here. He's done a good job of fending off 2-strike pitches.
He hasn't really choked up on the bat, so this is a lot of hitter ingenuity from him to stay alive here. The 0-2. Curveball up high, swing and a miss. Matsu threatens and strands runners on the corners, but does no damage. We move on to the bottom of the first inning. The Bucs due up at the top of the order, and Narrett, Bodeker, and Pendergrass. Cannon Downey taking the bump for the green and gold. We'll be back in just a moment of this 0-0 game. We roll along at Mulcahy Stadium into the bottom of the first inning. It's 0-0. Matsu put runners on the corners but couldn't bring anyone home. Camden Daly is the pitcher for the Road Squad Miners, and he's got Joey Narrett, Lex Bodeker, and Alex Pendergrass due up. Three of the best hitters in the league. Narrett at a .313 line. He leads off batting from the left side against the right-handed Daly, who just transferred to BYU. Righty-lefty matchup, first pitch on the way. Swung on, bounced to the third base side, and just foul. So Narrett down to the count 0-1. He's struck out 14 times this season. He's responsible for 17 RBIs. Against Matsu, he's struggled, just 3 for 15 in 4 games. Daly pitching out of the stretch, raises his right leg and deals. This is up high and away on the fastball. Count moves to 0-2. A good start for the Matsu starter. He fires. Swung on, popped up, hanging deep towards left field, moving towards the warning track. Vergara leaps at the wall. He brings it back. Vergara makes the catch an inch above the wall. Narrett's drive just kept carrying. Vergara started so shallow, he tracked it all the way back and hung up there. So there's one away on a very long flyout.
Yeah, that might have been a home run robbery. The ball might have sailed over the fence there. Great job by Vergara.
Here's the lefty Lex Bodeker, first pitch. He checks his swing on a fastball right down the middle for a strike. And Bodeker is the best hitter on this team as far as average. He enters at a .336 clip. Daly from the stretch. Misses high and away for a ball. 1-1 count. And ballots have come out and been voted upon for the end of season awards. We don't know the outcome yet. The 1-1. Cut fastball high and away for a strike. Bodeker is someone who's received a lot of buzz for the top player of the year, the MVP, the top prospect. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Award or not, Camden Daly retires him by way of the K. The Bucs are 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the first.
Great job by Daly to attack the strike zone against a dangerous batter. Really setting the tone right now.
Another dangerous bat comes up, and Alex Pendergrass, the left fielder, bats from the right side, and he's 4 for his last 11. Daly from the stretch. Fastball right over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Pendergrass, although his batting average has suffered at a .257 mark, he has been on the uptick lately. The 0-1. Swings, puts it out to short. Barreras fields it on the early outfield grass, fires onto first, and got him by a full step. 1-2-3, go the Bucs in the bottom of the first inning, so we move on to the second in a scoreless ball game. Matsu's got its 6, 7, 8 hitters due up in just a moment. Welcome back into Mulcahy Stadium for the top of the second inning of this scoreless affair between the first place Miners and the second place Bucs. Alongside Austin Barach on Jesse Cook, the Miners come up to the bats, and it's up to Nolan Tucker, the second baseman, to start things off, followed by Sebastian Tomerlin and Caleb Hanna's Luis Becerra, the righty on the bump against the lefty hitter. He winds and fires. Fastball misses low and away. The Miners knocked on the door in the first inning, took their leadoff man Cooper Vest all the way to third, but couldn't bring him home. Becerra from the windup. Tucker swings and tails it to the backstop for a foul ball, a 1-1 count. By contrast, the Bucs offense went away quietly in the first. 1-2-3.
1-1 for Tucker. Bases empty. Nobody on, nobody out. The pitch. Front door curveball sneaks into the zone for a strike. 1-2 count.
Definitely quietly after Narrett was inches away from going yard. Alex Vergara showing why he's such a threat.
The 1-2. Tucker swings, drills it to second. Bear makes a jump and makes a grab. Tucker rallied that ball hard, but it just didn't go anywhere he needed. Curtis Bear has been sure-footed at second base. All of his errors have come either at shortstop or in the outfield. At second, he's perfect. Showing it off there. That lineout brings up Sebastian Tomerlin. The Matsu center fielder hits from the left side. First pitch on the way. This is low for a ball. Tomerlin has been great lately. His batting average is rather deceptive at a 192 mark. He reached twice yesterday, both on walks. In the last week, he's gotten hits in all but one game. The 1-0 misses high and away for a ball. He started out last week with a batting average of just .077. 2-0, bases empty, nobody out. The pitch, he swings and dribbles it to the right side, foul. The Central Arizona Community College product at the plate says he really developed his swing lately and turned around on low inside pitches much better. The 2-1, fastball in the turf, 3-1 count for Tomerlin. He's got 2 hits and 21 at-bats against these Bucs on the season, but again, he hasn't seen them in 6 days. 3-1 pitch from the windup, swings and chops it down the first base line and foul. Against the Bucs, last Friday, Tomerlin went 1 for 4 with a run scored, but he also struck out once. Full count, 1 away, the pitch. Swings, tails it foul off the left side. Stays alive. Tomerlin wears dark gray batting gloves with a black wristband on his left arm. Digs in, crowding the plate. The 3-2 again. Backdoor curveball called strike 3. Becerra with some late breaking action on that pitch, and the Miners are 2 up, 2 down in the top of the second. That brings up third baseman Caleb Hannes. The righty out of Valparaiso comes up with nobody on, nobody out. Becerra shrugs his shoulders, steps off to the left and fires home. Front door curveball dances into the zone for strike 1. Hannes this season batted a .308 line against the Bucs. Pitch. Skips low for a ball. That's 4 hits in 13 at-bats. His season total is a little different, though, just .241 for his batting average. The 1-1. Another low fastball makes it a 2-1 count. Base is empty, 2 away, nothing to score. Top of the second inning from Anchorage. 2-1 the count for Hannah as Becerra winds and fires. He swings, drills it to deep right left center field. Moving over is Bodeker, and he's got time. He makes the grab. 1, 2, 3 go the Miners. We move on to the bottom of the second inning, still knotted up at zeros. Rolling back along into the bottom of the second inning, it's 0-0 from Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage. Alongside Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Camden Daly back on the bump. The righty starter, who just transferred to BYU, is known for his longevity. He hasn't had a start of fewer than 4 innings this season.
Daly has been the pinnacle of consistency and reliability. One of just a handful of pitchers with at least 35 innings pitched this season in the ABL.
Now he's got Jackson Sorensen to lead things off in the second, followed by Dante Turgeon and Dylan Maltby. Sorensen digs in on the left side of the plate, his back leg on the back chalk. Daly from the right side fires. Strike high and away. And this is unusual from Camden Daly. Normally we see him throw out of the windup, but today doing it out of the stretch. His 0-1. Backdoor curveball misses up high and away. Sorensen hits at a 299 clip on the season. The 1-1 pitch. He swings in front of the curveball and misses. So whatever Daly's doing that has caused him to make this change to pitching from the stretch, is working thus far. Retired the first inning in order, and now he's ahead here 1-2. The pitch. Swung on, popped up, third base side, hooking foul and way out of play. That was over the left field stands. There's about 300 people in attendance here at Mulcahy Stadium, which fills out the area behind home plate. 1-2 count, bases empty, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Daly has his second strikeout of the afternoon in just 4 batters. That brings up the first baseman, Dante Turgeon. He's batting at a 253 line this season. Against Matsu, he's been roughly as efficient with a 250 average, 6 for 24. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. Fastball high and away for a strike. Turgeon has white batting gloves dirted with a tan strap across the hand. 0-1 pitch. He swings, cuts it down the deep right field line, hooking foul and out of play. If it's fair, it's gone, and it's very foul. Turgeon has hit 3 home runs this season, so he has the power. The sun is peeking in over the right field fence, casting shadows across the outfield. The 0-2, he swings and pops up behind first base. That one also in foul ground and again out of play. It's an 0-2 count for Turgeon with 1 away. Bases empty. Yesterday, Brandon Downer pitched all 9 innings, the first 9-inning complete game for any pitcher in the ABL this season, and he did it by throwing fewer pitches in each inning. Well, Daly has kept his pitch count low. Here's the 0-2 again. Fastball at the belt for strike 3. His 3rd strikeout, 2nd in a row. And again, Daly kept his pitch count low with just 9 throws in the first inning. That was pitch number 9 here in the second, and he's got 2 away with nobody on base for catcher Dylan Maltby. He hits from the right side. Maltby has not been great this year. Here's the first pitch. He sends it foul off to the right side. He's hitting it just in a 102 clip. Against Matsu, he's been marginally better with a 174 line. The 0-1. Fastball at the thighs for strike 2. And Daly 1 strike away from getting out of this inning 1-2-3 just like he did the first. The big righty out of Idaho stares in, his cap tilted to the third base side. The 0-2. Fastball low and away for ball 1. Turgeon has 2 RBIs against Matsu, but rather Maltby has 3 RBIs against Matsu, no home runs. The 1-2 pitch. He swings, rips it to center field, but right at Sebastian Tomerlin, he takes a step to his left and makes the grab. 1-2-3 go the Bucs for the 2nd inning in a row. We move on to the top of the 3rd. 0-0 to score. Matsu has the 9-1-2 hitters due up. It's the top of the third inning from Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska, and the score stands exactly the same way it did at the onset of this matchup at 0-0. I'm Jesse Cook. To my right is Austin Barach. Luis Becerra still on the hill, his third inning of work. He's allowed just one hit, no runs, striking out a pair. He's got the 9-1-2 hitters in the Matsu order with Emilio Barreras leading off, batting from the left side. The righty fires. He swings and cuts it over the backstop, foul. Emilio comes into this game with a .254 batting average. He's first up round, 0-2 count. Emilio is not someone who strikes out in great quantities. He's only done it 8 times this season. However, one of those strikeouts did come on Monday at the Chinooks. That was his first strikeout in a week and a half. Base is empty, nobody out. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball dances low and inside, but just misses. 1-2 count. Emilio swivels his bat into his white batting gloves and resets, crowding the plate. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses up high. It's a 2-2 count. Against the Bucs, Barreras has been rather inefficient, just 6 hits in 29 at-bats, but his on-base percentage against Anchorage is up at .343. The 2-2. Front door curveball misses above the belt, and very quickly the count is full. Barreras has walked 5 times against these Bucs. The 3-2. Swings, lifts it deep down the left field line, tailing foul and out of play over into the Anchorage bullpen.
Barreras does a great job. You mentioned, Jesse, when you talked with Nolan Tucker earlier today, the batters have such great 2-strike approaches.
That's right, they do. The 3-2 again. Skips about a foot in front of home plate. Barreras is aboard with a walk. Matsu has the leadoff man aboard for the second time today, and that brings up the top of the order with Cooper Vest, who is that other leadoff man who got aboard. Vest singled his first time up to lead off the game. Here he is in at bat number 2, hitting from the left side. BYU product wears light gray batting gloves with an all-black left arm sleeve. Barreras, 2 steps off of first base, hangs low. Becerra comes set, pitching out of the stretch. Glove at the belt, kicks and deals. Fastball misses high and away, ball 1. Barreras is first on the team in RBIs with 23. Vest is second. These two have been a dynamic duo. 17 ribbies for the Matsu first baseman standing at the plate. 1-0 count. Becerra from the stretch again. Swing and a pop-up over the backstop, foul. 1-1 count. Although RBIs have been a great part of Vest's game, so have strikeouts. He's gone down by way of the K 21 times. He's one of 6 Matsu minors with 20 or more strikeouts this season. 1-1 count, runner on first. Throw over to the bag. Barreras is back safely with a head-first dive and no tag.
If you're a Cooper Vest fan, which you should be, don't be alarmed by those numbers, though. In his nearly 140 at-bats, that strikeout percentage is still like less than 20%.
That's right. Vest has more at-bats than anyone on the team.
In the league, too.
1-1 pitch. Swings, rips it up the middle to straightaway center. That ball is down for a hit. Barreras rounds second. He's charging for third. There is no throw to the bag. Cooper Vest has a single, and Barreras moves on to third. Runners on the corners for Matsu with nobody out in the top of the third of this 0-0 game.
We've said it so many times, I sound like a broken record, but Cooper Vest, no cheap hits. It is a laser show with him, at least once a game, and now twice already in 2 plate appearances today. He has just whistled the ball into the outfield.
That brings up someone else who can hit the ball hard, and Alex Vergara. He's got 4 home runs on the season, which leads the Alaska Baseball League. Righty-righty matchup. Becerra comes set on the far left of the mound. He fires. This is high and away for ball 1. Vergara comes to the minors out of Lipscomb, although it's his second stint with Matsu. He earned all ABL last season, winning the MVP award. If he had been up here longer, he would likely be in the conversation for league MVP, but he's played half the games. 1-0 count. Pitch misses up high and inside. 2-0 to Vergara. He's third on the team in ribbies with 16. Barreras is on third Vest on first, nobody out. The middle infielder is playing near the outfield grass and the corner is back. Becerra from the stretch. Fastball high and away, called a strike at the belt. 2-1 count. 0-0 the score, top the third inning, nobody out. Runners on first and third for Matsu. Becerra resets. Glove at the belt. He fires, runner off for second, pitch misses up high, no throw to the bag, Vest is in with a swipe of second. Runner is on second and third, right foot at the very back of the batter's box in a low open stance. The 3-1 pitch, he swings and misses on the fastball high and away. Vergara turned all the way around, his eyes were off towards the third base side by the end of his swing. 0-0 the score, nobody out, top of the third inning. Matsu threatening with 2 runners in scoring position. Vergara's got a good bat. He leads the league in dingers this year with 4. Becerra pitching from the stretch, kicks and deals. Fastball low and away, ball 4, his second walk of the inning, and it loads the bases for power-hitting catcher Steven Lancia. The big man out of UT Rio Grande Valley has already smashed a pair of home runs this season. And we recheck those standings. He is in first place in the batting race with a .384 batting average.
Let's go.
Ducks on the pond. Becerra takes a deep breath on the hill and stares at the righty at the dish. He fires. Fastball high and inside. Pops out of the catcher's mitt, but Maltby controls it as it skipped away. Barrera stays at third. I'll bet he had flashbacks to the last time these two teams played when Maltby let a slider skip through his glove, which allowed Sebastian Tomerlin to swipe home from third base. The Bucs won that game, though, 9-5 in Palmer. 1-0 count, the pitch. Fastball at the knees, low and away, called a strike. 1-1 count. Lancia has 9 RBIs this season. He's scored 13 runs. He's struck out 17 times, though, which is an alarming number in his 23 games. 1-1 count from the stretch. Slider missed high and away, 2-1 count. Vergara is the runner on first. He walked to get there. Cooper Vest is on second. He singled and swiped that base. And Barreras led off the inning with a walk. He stands on third. Nobody out. 0-0 the score, top the third inning. Top product has already smashed 1 home run this season. He had a home run on Saturday get taken back by the right fielder for the Chinooks, Braden Broom, who robbed him at the fence. Yesterday, he had an RBI triple. Righty on the bump, lefty at the dish. The pitch. Fastball dances too far low and inside for a ball. Carpenter wears some visor sunglasses at the plate underneath his green batting helmet. A very tall stance for the lefty. Becerra pitches from the stretch. Swung on and popped up over the backstop. It's a 1-1 count. Barreras is the runner on third. He's scored 16 runs this season. Vest, the runner on second. He leads the minors in runs scored with 23. Vergara out on first base with 15 runs of his own. Carpenter has 15 RBIs, too. The 1-1 pitch. Checks a swing on a high and inside fastball. Didn't go around, so that's ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike for Carpenter. Bases loaded, 1 away. Scoreless ball game in the top of the third inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Baseball Network with Austin Barach. I'm Jesse Cook. Becerra, glove at the hip. Stares home. He deals. Carpenter swings. Sends it to shallow left center field. Bodeker chases in. He makes the one-handed grab. Barreras tags from third. The throw home. Barreras holds and chugs back to the base. A pair of much-needed outs for Anchorage keep the runners in check. Matsu started off this inning with 3 straight base runners to load the bases, but the 3 and 4 hitters have not been able to bring them home. That sends the 5-hitter in Maddox Haley to the plate. He hits from the right side. He's nursing that ankle injury, which he suffered running through first base against the Bucs. That has not slowed his bat, though. He returned to the lineup after 10 days on the injured list on Saturday. Played both legs of that doubleheader. He's got hits in each of those 4 games since. First pitch. This is high and away for a ball. Yesterday was Maddox's grand...
Guys,
It's a long time coming for him, and he said his teammates were especially happy for him since he's been dealing with that injury that sidelined him for 10 days.
It's a 1-1 count for Haley. 0-0 the score. Bases loaded, 2 away. The pitch. Fastball misses up high. 2-1 count. And the teammates were happy. The crowd was happy. That was the loudest I think I've heard Herman Brothers field all season. So it's fitting that homer came in the last regular season game at home.
Sellout yesterday at Herman Brothers Field. What an atmosphere.
Haley digs in, crowding the plate on the right side at the very back of the batter's box. Becerra pitches. Sweeping curveball misses low and away, and it's a 3-1 count for Haley. The San Diego State product has 13 RBIs on the season, 4 of which came yesterday. One wrong move from Becerra could give Haley another ribby, because it's a 3-1 count. The San Diego native has walked 11 times this year. Becerra has dealt out 2 walks this inning, 22 on the year. Bases loaded, 3-1 count, 2 away. The pitch. Swings, pops it up behind first base and foul ground and out of play. So that moves the count to full. Matsu led off the inning with 3 straight base runners. Barreras walked. Best singled. Vergara walked. All 3 of them are still on base. It's 0-0 in the top of the 3rd inning in Anchorage. Matsu, with the bases loaded and 2 away, trying not to waste an opportunity, would be their 3rd time in the past week stranding the bases loaded. Becerra, the righty, comes set. He fires. Swings, pops it up, right field. Narrett chases in. He makes the grab one-handed in front of his chin. Matsu strands their first 3 batters this inning and can't bring anyone home. In a game like this, a battle for first place, every run feels so much more important, and the Miners are hurting after that. 0-0 remains the score as we move on to the bottom of the 3rd. Before then, let's take a look at today's Pickaxe Pickle. Our trivia question today relates to a former Miners catcher. This current catcher for the Baltimore Orioles played for the 2009 Matsu Miners. Since then, he has played for the Detroit Tigers, Chicago White Sox, New York Mets, and Orioles. And this ABL alum has caught 2 Major League no-hitters, including the Mets' combined effort that included former Miner Drew Smith, as well as a complete game effort in 2020 by the former White Sox, now Angels ace Lucas Giolito. Who is this 2019 American League All-Star? We'll have the answer to that quandary in the middle of the 5th inning.
The current catcher for the Orioles, isn't that Rutschman?
Well, he's a catcher for the Oilers, for the Orioles. When did Adley Rutschman make his Major League debut?
Oh, I mean,
last year.
Yeah, the 2009 thing, the ABL wouldn't really add up.
I'm gonna let you take a guess there. We move back along into the bottom of the 3rd inning at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage. Jesse Cook with you alongside Austin Barach. The Miners stranded the bases loaded last inning with nobody out. They couldn't score any of them. So Camden Daly, who might have started that frame thinking he was going to walk back onto the hill with a lead, still is pitching in a tie game, but that hasn't been a problem for him. He's gone 6 up, 6 down to start things off. Zach Thomas leads off the bottom of the 3rd, a righty-righty matchup. First pitch. Fastball misses high and inside. 1-0 count for the LSU Eunice product. Daly leans in, catch it 2. And there is a high likelihood that this will be Daly's last regular season start. The 2-1. Swings and sends it foul to the backstop.
Yeah, he told me it will be with Brandon Downer, the likely playoff Game 1 starter in the wild card in the 1st round.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Daly is making a strong case to be that clutch pitcher for Matsu as he's down 4 batters through the first 2 1/3 innings. No one on this Bucs roster has reached base.
It's been incredible stuff out of Daly today.
Here comes Logan Hokuff, the Anchorage shortstop, bat from the right side. First pitch. Fastball high and away for strike 1. Hokuff has been one of the less popular batters in the league as he looks at a strike at the knees. or he has not been so popular with the bases.
Yeah.
Just a 107 batting
That's one way of
average.
phrasing it. Being popular with the bases, for sure.
0-2 count. Dally from the stretch. Swing and a pop-up first base side foul. The count remains at 0-2 for Hokuff, son of his coach Ken Hokuff. The pitch. Swings, cracks it to third, Hannah's charges, fields it on the hop, lobs on to first, and he got him. Dally still has yet to allow a base runner. There's 2 away now in the top of the third. That ground out brings up second baseman Curtis A. Bear. He's been a renaissance man for this team, playing all over the field, including on the hill. Righty-righty matchup. A. Bear digs in the middle of the box. First pitch. Swing and a drive to deep right field. Carpenter backtracks. He's got plenty of room. Looks up with one hand, makes a grab. For the third straight inning, Anchorage goes down 1-2-3, and the pitch count was kept low in that frame for Dally, who threw just 11 times. We move on to the top of the fourth, 0-0 the score between the Miners and the Bucs.
Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. To my left is Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. Luis Becerra, the righty out of Cal Baptist University, set to deal with 6, 7, and 8 in the Matsu order. Nolan Tucker, Sebastian Tomerlin, and Caleb Hannes. Tucker lined out to second his first time up. The righty deals, and Tucker swings down the right first base side, foul on a ground ball. So he's still hitting the ball hard here in Anchorage. Tucker batting just under .210 this season, has walked in 6 consecutive games. Sarah out of the windup. He deals, and it's a floater high and away. He gets to the backstop, 1-1.
Yeah, that was a business decision by Dylan Maltby to not even try for that. He reached his glove up, and then when he saw how high it was, he just jutted it back down.
Smart move by Maltby, doing less work, the 1-1. He catches this one, but it's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff man in this 4th inning, Nolan Tucker. Tucker was the leadoff man at one point this season in early July, the 2-1. Runs inside, 3-1.
Struggled in the leadoff spot, went just 5 for 32 in that frame.
The pitch, swung on, hit down the third base line, but Sorensen watches it settle behind the stands. It's a full count. Tucker's got 6 walks to 2 strikeouts against the Bucs this season. Becerra's payoff. Fastball floated over to the third base side again. Full count. Nobody on, nobody out in a scoreless top of the 4th. These 2 teams will meet again tomorrow right back here in Anchorage. Becerra's pitch, fastball, filled to the backstop. Tucker has another foul ball.
Hit right off the end of Dylan Maltby's mitt, so Becerra is finding his location well. Good on Tucker to stay alive.
Tucker, end of the box, he takes, I guess, ball 4. The umpire did not make a signal
but Maltby threw on to third base as if to kickstart the strikeout throw-around situation. A very odd sequence because it seemed like all the Bucs players thought it was a strikeout. Tucker was very hesitant to walk to first base, but he's on board with a walk, now base on balls in 7 straight games for him.
Yeah, home plate umpire Bill Parker never motioned to first, and he never made a strike call. So when in doubt, if he makes no signal, it is a ball, but he should have motioned one way or the other.
So here comes the left-hand hitting Sebastian Tomlin. He shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a fastball inside for ball 1. Sorensen, the third baseman, playing it on the grass. This has been a move that Tyler Brunn has utilized all season. Get the leadoff runner on, and depending on the batter, try to lay one down. Becerra checks on Tucker, head first slide, he's back safe. Tucker this season has stolen a few bases, 6 for 6. Had those 3 against the Bucs on July the 12th. The pitch is a bunt placed on the third base side. Sorensen calls off Becerra, he throws on a first in time by a stride and a half, but Tucker scampers down to second base. 1 away with a runner in scoring position.
Smart move by Matsu. You need base runners. You need players in scoring position. You couldn't capitalize last inning. Do your best now.
Matsu has put 3 runners already in scoring position. Tucker at second base now is the 4th to do so. Of course, it is still a 0-0 game here in the top of the 4th. Righty-righty matchup. Becerra versus Hannes, the 8-hitter. Pitch is swung on. Hit high in a center field. Bodeker comes in by a couple steps, makes the grab, and Tucker doesn't even think about testing the arm. 2 away in the top of the 4th. Saris checks Tucker, fires home. The 1-0 was left upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes to Emilio. Barach walked back in the 3rd. He would be stranded at third base. He led off the 3rd, got to 3rd, and would be one of 3 runners to be stranded. The 2-0 swung on, blooped in a shallow left field. Sorensen, the third baseman, wanders back, still backpedaling and makes the grab right in front of the grass in left field, out number 3. Matsu strands its 6th runner of the game. And so after 3.5, it's still scoreless at Mulcahy. The top of the order due up for the Bucs when we come back. You and me and everybody else watching has entered the bottom of the 4th inning. I'm Austin Barach alongside Jesse Cook. Cannon Daly has gone through the order once already today, and he's had to deal with Joey Narrett, the left-hand hitter out of Dallas Baptist, who began the game with a long fly ball to deep left field. Vergara made a play at the warning track to collect it for the first out. The bottom of the 1st, as Daly's pitch to him runs inside for ball 1. The pitch, up and outside, 2-0 the count.
Daly's been efficient through 3 innings. He's only thrown 32 pitches, and he's gone through the order without allowing a base runner.
2-0 outside, ball 3, so he's one pitch away potentially from allowing his first base runner of the day. Takes almost a half stride off of the mound, but re-enters the rubber. The 3-0 fastball stings the latter half for strike 1.
Walks were a problem for Daly last time out against the Bucs. He threw 5 innings, allowed 6 walks, 24 in the year.
The 3-1 is swung on and belted out of play. On top of those 6 walks, he also had a pair of hit batters, if you will, as a pitcher. He's up to 5 hit batters on the season. Also had a couple of wild pitches last outing. The payoff pitch is framed on the inside corner. Down 3-0. Daly comes all the way back and freezes Joey Narrett for out number 1 in the bottom of the 4th.
10 up, 10 down for Daly. That's a really quality start. But if he wants to go long, he's got to stay away from those full counts, keep his pitch count low. That's the first time he's gone to a 3-2 setup on a batter.
And that was the 5th K for him today. It's only the 4th. First pitch to Bodeker, the lefty, is swung through on a high fastball, 0-1 the count. The 0-1, swing and a miss, down low, 0-2 on a slider. Daly is humming so far. He got Bodeker a strikeout swinging back in the 1st, and he's got him to swing and miss twice already. Bodeker, one of the best players in the league. The 0-2 left hot. Bodeker entered the day at a .336 batting average. That's the 6th best in the league. He's also got 6 triples, the most in the ABL. The pitch, left at a couple inches below the knees. It's a 2-2 count, and now Daly puts both cleats off the bump and re-enters the top of the mound. Stares in, out of the stretch. The pitch, swung on, belted down the left field line, but tailing foul. Still 2-2.
Anchorage batters have had a good view, left-handed batters that is, have had a good view on Daly's pitches low and away, so I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to sneak something high and inside now.
Let's see it. The 2-2 pitch, checked his swing, and the pitch is left high. And for the second straight batter, Daly has himself in a full count. Righty thrower to the lefty batter, and it sails away. Daly allows his first base runner of the ballgame.
Read a quote that says, "Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful, but it would be fun if we got a baseball game from one pitcher that was perfect one of these days." 10 batters in a row is great, though.
Yeah, so there goes the perfect game for the folks at home. So 1-on-1 out, and here comes the 3-hitter Pendergrass, who takes ball 1 low and in.
I mean, we have yet to see a walk-off this season. We've seen all 7 ways to get to first base. We've seen a 0-0 game. A lot of unique things, but not the ones you'd expect.
The 1-0 is swung on and belted out of play down the right field side. We have not seen a triple play. You know, our Red Sox were the victims of a triple play a couple days ago, but ultimately won that game and won the 2-game series against the best team in baseball, the Atlanta Braves. Runner goes, Daly throws to second base. The tag cannot be applied because Tucker dropped the ball. Bodeker steals second base without a throw going home.
Tough look for the Matsu defense because Tucker didn't notice the runner going right away, so he was late to the bag. Daly had a good turnaround move. The throw was probably in the right spot, just you needed someone to be there sooner.
Bodeker now at second base. 1-1 misses high. Bodeker now has 8 steals and 10 attempts on the season and has his second swipe against the Miners. Pendergrass is now up at the count, and he swings and trickles one into the backstop. It's 2-2.
The big problem I've noticed for Matsu pitchers this season in games where they walk plenty of batters, a lot of times they'll get ahead in the count with 2 strikes and then scare themselves away from the zone.
Daly trying not to be frightened here in the bottom of the 4th, 0-0 game. The 2-2 pitch is swung on. Little flare to second base. Tucker collects it, throws on a first for out number 2. Bodeker goes down to third base.
And here's a major test So Jackson Sorensen comes up to the plate against Matsu, and he's someone who knows how to hit Matsu well. 9 hits in 22 at-bats this season. That's over a 400 average against the Miners.
Daly's pitch to him is sailed to the backstop. Daly said over the weekend that he and Sorensen had their battles in high school, both of them playing and coming from Idaho. They're about even in their matchups. The 1-0 misses outside. It's a 1-1 count. And Sorensen went to Gonzaga, but he's transferring to Iowa Western. The 1-1 tails outside. 2-1 to the big lefty at 6'4", 225. Daly, not too small himself at 6'5", 210. Daly got Sorensen to strike out back in the second. Down 2-1 here, and he got Sorensen on a high fastball, swing and miss. 2-2 count.
These two have had opposite career paths. Daly from Southern Idaho moved up a division to BYU.
That's right. The 2-2 pitch, and this time Sorensen learns from his mistake and leaves the fastball upstairs. And for the third time this half inning, it's a full count. Bodeker at third base, 0-0 game, bottom of the fourth. Daly's payoff pitch, left away, and Bodeker is on with a walk that puts runners at the corners.
It's no surprise that the Bucs are doing their best work in this fourth inning, granted without any hits, but it goes to the pitch count. Daly threw at most 13 pitches in each of the 3 prior innings without going to a full count. Now he's thrown 24 pitches in this one frame.
So here comes Dante Turgeon, the right-hand batter of Chandler Gilbert College. He takes ball 1 inside. Turgeon is batting .250 this season, entering the day against Matsu. .253 overall, but he is 0 for his last 9 against the green and gold. Daly checks the runner at first, goes home. The 1-0 is sliced foul on a check swing that ricocheted towards the Matsu dugout. It's a 1-1 count. Maltby does not have a hit against Matsu since June 30th. Excuse me, Turgeon. And he swings and hits it to the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
If you're Daly here, it might be a good idea to attack. You've fallen behind almost every batter this inning after getting them to 2 strikes. Just try and pull ahead and get Turgeon out on his front foot.
Fielders playing straight up. Daly sheepishly checks Sorensen at first base. We've seen runners this season steal in a first and third situation. So far, Sorensen with not a huge lead. Turgeon stays alive in the count with another foul ball to the backstop. Remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. This has been by far the hardest that Daly has had to work in an inning today. Retired the first 10 batters he saw. Here he is facing the 5th batter of the bottom of the 4th. Ready match with the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball is blown by Dante Turgeon. Daly has his 6th punch out of the game, and the score remains scoreless after 4 full innings. Matsu has the top of the order due up in the 5th when we return. Still 0-0 as we enter the 5th inning alongside Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach, and Ken Hokuff has changed pitchers. Anchorage's starter Luis Becerra went 4 innings, allowing 2 hits, 0 runs, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts, and gives way to the southpaw out of Long Beach State, Sky Wells. And he has Vest, Vergara, and Lancia due up in the top of the order here in the top of the 5th. Yo-whoa. Call a strike in the outside corner. Wells this season has a 3.26 ERA. This is his 9th outing and his 4th relief appearance. He's pitched over 30 innings already in the ABL. His 0-1 is swung through on a high fastball, quickly 0-2 to Cooper Vest. Vest is already 2 for 2 today with a pair of singles, 1 to left field and 1 to center field. 2 hard-hit singles. Wells up in the count, though. Out of the windup, he deals the pitch. Breaking ball. Swung on and missed. A nasty slider to get Cooper Vest 1 away in the top of the 5th.
Sorensen has really either been hit or miss against the minors. Either he's striking out 9 batters in a showing, or he's allowing runs thanks to walks.
Sky Wells. Yes, Sky Wells has been pretty darn good this season, but against the minors specifically, yes, either hot or cold. The first pitch to Vergara, the righty, is up and away. Wells had an impressive first outing against the minors back in the 2nd game of the season, June 6th, 4 scoreless innings. But then on June 17th, he allowed 4 earned runs in just an inning and a third. The pitch to Vergara is called a strike down the middle. It's 1-1. And then on July 12th against Matsu, he went just 1 inning, allowing 2 hits, 2 runs, just 1 of them earned. The lefty's 1-1 is slapped to first base, fielded by Thomas, rather Turgeon, and he steps in the bag for out number 2. 2 quick outs for Sky Wells, and here comes the right-handed hitter out of UT Rio Grande Valley, Steven Lancia, 0 for 2 so far today. Wells' pitch is called a strike right down the heart of the plate.
Lancia has hit the ball in the air both times. If he could lower his hand, straighten out his swing, he'd really help himself out.
The 0-1, breaking ball, skips in on the outside corner. Boy, did that have some movement. This looks like prime Sky Wells right here, which is a dangerous situation here for the Matsu Miners. The 0-2 to Lancia. Tail to the backstop. He stays alive. Lancia, Carpenter, and Haley, the 3-4-5 hitters today, are combined 0 for 6. Matsu has just 2 hits. The Bucs, though, still 0. In a 0-0 top of the 5th. Wells. He pitches and misses, blown away on another breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Steven. Lancia hasn't homered in 4 weeks. The 1-2, fastball misses just low. Mulpy and Wells were motioning towards their own dugout, hoping for strike 3, but it's a 2-2 count now.
I thought that was strike 3 as well. Lancia gets a break.
The 2-2, swing and miss. Breaking ball got him on the outside corner. Sky Wells strikes out Cooper Vest and Steven Lancia as part of a 1-2-3 inning for him. Through 4.5, it's still scoreless at Mulcahy. We'll be back for the action, but right now we will return to the Pickaxe Pickle.
That's right, Austin. It seems like just a moment ago we were asking this question the first time. This game is flying by. But this current catcher for the Baltimore Orioles played for the 2009 Matsu Miners. And since then, he has played for the Detroit Tigers, the Chicago White Sox, New York Mets, and of course, those Orioles. This ABL alum has caught 2 Major League no-hitters, including the Mets' combined effort that included former Miner Drew Smith, as well as a complete game effort in 2020 by the former White Sox, now Angels ace Lucas Giolito, who is his 2019 American League All-Star.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Well, the answer is James McCann. He currently backs up Adley Rutschman on the Orioles, and he enjoys an accomplishment unique in recent baseball history besides having caught a pair of no-hitters. In 2015, he became the first player since Tim Raines, the Expos legend, in 1981 to record an inside-the-park home run and a walk-off homer for his first 2 career dingers. Incidentally, his 3rd home run was also a walk-off.
Wow.
So James McCann.
Well, both catchers today have been strong. We've entered the bottom half of the 5th inning, still 0-0 between the Miners and the Bucs. Cannon Daly still on the bump. The soon-to-be BYUer faces the right-hand hitting Dylan Maltby. The catcher sends a ground ball towards Hannes. The third baseman fires a dart to first base. 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the 5th.
Good recognition by Hannes. That ball jumped high off the bat immediately. Well, after hitting the ground, it was a high hop. He could have stayed back on it, but Hannes knew instinctively to race in, and he knew that he didn't have time to really wait for anything. So great play by the sure-footed third baseman.
Hannes has been so great at that position this season. Here comes the 6'3" Zach Thomas, the designated hitter, takes a strike down the middle. 0-1 the count to him. Thomas was one of 6 strikeout victims back in the 3rd, and he takes a half-hearted swing and miss, completely fooled. It's quickly 0-2. Daly working quickly, ready to go again. His 0-2 fastball stung to the backstop. Thomas bats .345 against this team, but now sends one down the right field line, tailing in fair territory. Thomas rounds first base. Carpenter's throw to second base won't quite get there, and Zach Thomas has the first hit of the game for the Anchorage Bucs. It's a double.
You know, all I ask is for 1 no-hitter this season. Just 1!
Yeah, so the perfect game bid ended in the 4th, and now the no-hit bid has ended in the 5th for Cannon Daly. Here comes the 4th consecutive right-hand batter, Logan Hokuth. Daly checks second, fires home, and this is slapped to shallow right field. Outgoing is Tucker, and he makes the grab over his left shoulder at the edge of the infield turf for out number 2.
Such an odd setup here at Mulcahy Stadium, with turf covering the entire infield and maybe 10 yards of the outfield grass, as well as both foul lines, but real grass in the heart of the outfield with a gravel warning track.
Yeah. So here we go, the 9-hitter Curtis Bear, another right-handed batter, the 5th consecutive here in the order for Ken Hokuth's squad. He takes a strike right above the belt. 0-1 the count to Bear, who flied out to Carpenter back in the 3rd inning. He ended the 3rd inning with that flyout. The 0-1 misses high. 1-1 the count. Bear has pitched 6 times this season, but bats at around a 270 clip. Daly's 1-1 offering misses low and away. Ball 2. Bear is now 4 for 23 against Matsu this season. That's at around a 180 batting average. The pitch, low and away. Just like we talked about with Dante Turgeon, Bear does not have a hit against Mat-Su this month. In fact, he hasn't got a base hit since June 17th against this team, and he swings through a fastball, bringing up a full count. 0 for 3 on June 27th, 0 for 2 on the 12th, 0 for 5 last time out, but this time he takes ball 4 up high on a fastball. And Daly has put runners at first and second base, still with 2 outs.
Daly will just have to soldier through any rough patches with the bullpen as thin as it is, with only 10 eligible pitchers on the team. Starters and relievers during the rest of the regular season are being asked to just go longer.
Lefty at the plate, the leadoff man, Nara, takes ball 1 up and in. Nara today is 0 for 2. And yeah, the bullpen guys stretched thin. Preston Shadoan, the righty out of Murray State, is the likely first pitcher or second today as Nara spins one off of the blue overhang, if you will, to the left of us. It's a 1-1 count. Shadoan and Matthew Lighthall, probably 2 of the relievers you might see today, along with Larry Westall. Daly's 1-1 is blasted in left field, but right at Alex Vergara. He ranged in a couple strides to his left and made the grab on the line out to left field. Anchorage strands 2 runners, but comes up empty. We head to the 6th inning, still in a scoreless affair with 4, 5, 6 due up for the Miners. Caden Carpenter, Maddox Haley, and Nolan Tucker due up for Ty LeBrun's team in the top of the 6th inning. I'm Austin Barrett. On my left is Jesse Cook. In the southpaw at Long Beach State, Sky Wells is on for his 2nd inning of relief work. Carpenter is 0 for 2 today with a fielder's choice and a fly out to center. The 6'4" lefty out of American Fork, Utah, swings and misses on a fastball for strike 1. Carpenter had his first triple of the year yesterday against the Pilots. The 0-1 misses up and in on a breaking ball. That was Carp's 8th extra base hits of this season. He's got 20 singles to go along with those 8 two-baggers or more. Wells is 1-1, is looked at but called a strike just above the waist. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Carp. Nobody on, nobody out. Wells is 1-2 offering, tailing slider, spoiled off the end of the bat on a roller down the first baseline, foul. Wells has used that breaking ball pitch to get Vest and Lancia, and he went to it up in the count against Carpenter right here. Both of his cleats are facing home plate directly. You don't see that too much these days. The 1-2, another breaking ball, and he got Carpenter to swing and miss, low and away. That pitch from Wells is lethal, 1 away in the top of the 6th.
And that front door curveball looks like it's going at the shoulder for lefties, and then it just drops to the other side of the plate. Wells has really deceptive stuff, but when it's not working, it's a disaster for him because then he really struggles finding the zone. And we've seen that happen a couple times this year.
Yes, we have seen that personally, and he's had a couple of other bad outings. As Maddox Haley, the righty who crowds the plate, takes ball one low. Wells' worst outing, arguably, was July 5th against the Chinooks. Did go 5 innings, but allowed 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. The pitch is swung through a fastball tailing away from the righty. 1-1 the count. Bodeker in center field, shading Haley, rather, to go to right center. The 1-1 misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike to Maddox. Pitch. Left away. 3-1 the count to Haley, who struck out in the first and flied out to right in the third. Becerra, the starter, offered 4 base on balls. Wells here, through 4 batters, has yet to put a base runner on. Maddox digs in on the right side. The 3-1 pitch is swung on, tallied down the right field line, but hanging foul. It's a full count.
I'd expect Wells to try working high and inside on Haley again. It looked like he jammed him a little bit there, but you also do run the risk of Haley turning around on a pitch that comes high and in.
The payoff from Wells, fastball misses the outside corner. Maddox Haley is on board with a walk. That's the first base runner allowed by Sky Wells today.
Haley still hobbled down to first base. His ankle has given him a lot of trouble.
Let's see if they pinch run for him. No, they won't. You have to think that Haley will have at least 1 more plate appearance today. Alex Thurston and Braden Rogers and Landon Rogers are available pinch hitters, pinch runners. So here's the lefty Nolan Tucker. He takes strike 1 on the latter half on a fastball. Tucker today had a line out to second base and walked in the 4th. He would be stranded at second base after having that leadoff walk in the 4th inning. A couple frames ago, the 1-0 is battered to the backstop. Tucker swung on a pitch high and in, and you can see he's a little bit frustrated with himself on that decision. 0 balls, 2 strikes to Nolan. 1 on, 1 out, and a scoreless top of the 6th. Middle infield and double play depth. Wells checks the runner Haley at first base. Maddox with that ankle injury, not really a threat to steal. Has just 1 swipe this season. The 0-2 to Tucker, fastball just outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Home plate Bill Parker started off with a pretty wide strike zone, but it's tightened up as the game has gone along. We saw pitches just like that in the first inning that would have been strikes.
Wells resets left side of the rubber. The pitch is flared to the left of us. Out of the park. Still 1-2. Tucker told you, Jesse, that he tries to not do too much with 2 strikes. Look fastball and adjust to breaking balls. Wells is 1-2. Breaking ball swung on, flared down the left field line. Diving play can't be made. Pendergrast sees the ball go past him into the corner. Watson waves around the hobbling Maddox Haley. The throw to third base not in time. Tucker has an RBI triple, and Matsu has the first run of the game. It's 1-0.
What a terrible decision by Alex Pendergrast. He wasn't close to that ball. He missed it by about a foot or more, diving for it. That was a really awful baseball IQ play by Pendergrast, and he's someone who's usually so smart in the outfield. It costs his team dearly there. Tucker makes it to third. Really, that should be an error, or just mentally, but it is a hit.
Here comes the left-handed Sebastian Tomlin. Wells with a frustrated sigh of relief. Misses low. I mean, who would have thought that the game's first run would be scored by Maddox Haley from first base? That's incredible. The 1-0 is swung on, belted down the right field line. Foul ball by about a foot.
We saw that for the last couple weeks before Tomerlin's hot streak began, that he turned around really well on low inside breaking pitches. But the problem with it was that he was fouling them off. He was early on them, so he gets a little too eager. Maybe if he keeps the barrel of his bat back, moves his hands forward a little earlier, he can get a better swing.
The 1-1 pitch to Seabass misses on a front dirt curveball. Tucker circling back to him. That was his second triple of the season, and the batter right here in Tomlin has 2 triples himself. Both of those came in last week. The pitch is tilted to the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Seabass. Both of those 3-baggers for Tomlin came against the Chinooks in Chugiak. Tomlin, after that hot streak, cooled off a bit yesterday, 0 for 2. Had 2 walks, though, as he watches curveball miss inside. It's a full count. So Wells, who retired his first 4 batters, then walked Haley and gave up a triple that scored Haley, and now has the pressure on him with this payoff pitch. But Tomlin swings through it on a low fastball. 2 gone in the 6th.
The weirdest part about this rally for Matsu is that Wells retired not just his first 4 batters, but the first 4 batters in the Matsu order. The top 4 guys all went down. Then it was left up to an injury-riddled Haley to score from first.
So here comes the righty Caleb Hannes, the third baseman, takes a ball blown away. He scooted past Maltby for a moment, but not too far. Hannes told Tucker to refrain from running home. 1-0 Matsu in the top of the 6th. The 1-0 to Hannes is scored to third base past the diving attempt by Sorensen. Tucker scores from third, and Caleb Hannes has his 6th RBI in the last 5 games. It's 2-0 Matsu.
Great stuff from Caleb Hannes. He turned around on an inside pitch so well. We've seen him put it opposite field in a good way, but pulling it just as well.
Lefty-lefty matchup with Barach. He takes strike 1 above the belt. This game was flying by, Jesse. It was 0-0 for forever. Finally, Matsu has scored first here in the 6th as Barach fouls one off. Hannes went, but now it's to trot back to first base. It's an 0-2 count to Emilio with 2 outs and a runner at first. 2-0 game in the top of the 6th inning. Wells resets, fires home, curveball hit him in the back. Emilio gets plunked for the 2nd time this season. And the runners are at first and second for the leadoff man, Cooper Vest.
Well, when Wells is hot, he's hot. When he's not, he's not. He started off so well with 4 straight outs, 3 strikeouts in that span, but he's really struggled finding the zone after that.
Vest 2 for 3, struck out swinging against Vest last time up. Rather against Wells. It'd be tough if Vest struck out against Vest. He takes ball 1 up and away.
Yeah, that would be one of the more unexpected things to happen this year. Like a Bugs Bunny move.
Yes. Wells' 1-0 is lifted away. 1-1 account. Maddox Haley told us that Cooper Vest has an elite set of vests.
Oh, how could he not? It's in the name.
Similarly, Jesse Cook can really cook.
That's true, I can.
The 1-1 to Cooper. Big swing off of the mask of Maltby. 1-2 count off of that foul ball.
I know you're a fan of my egg sandwich and my pumpkin chocolate chip muffins.
Correct. Very good stuff.
You cook some good salmon.
They're still talking about it. The one time I grilled salmon. Unbelievable.
It was good.
Felt like a true adult in that moment. Hannah's at second, Barreras at first. 1-2 count to Cooper Vest. The pitch, curveball, hangs inside. Good take. 2-2. Four hits for the Miners, just one for the Bucs. 2-0 the score in the top of the sixth. The 2-2 to Vest, hit high in a shallow center field. Logan Hokuff makes the grab midway through that turf, leading into the outfield for out number 3. Matsu strands 2, but not after they tack on the first 2 runs of the game. We have reached midway through the 6th inning. Miners on top 2-0 with 2-3-4 due up for Anchorage. It's 2-0 Matsu as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. To my left is Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. Cannondale still going strong for the Miners, about to face lefty Lex Bodeker, then Alex Pendergrass and Jackson Sorensen. The righty's first pitch of the 6th is a fastball that hits the bottom of the zone, strike 1. Bodeker struck out in the first, walked in the 4th. Pitch, checked his swing, left low, 1-1. Bodeker has seen multi-hit games in 6 of his last 9. The 1-1 is framed on the outside corner, 1-2, but hard to imagine that he's going to muster 2 more hits here, given that it's already the bottom of the 6th. The 1-2 is swung on, hit high to left field, towards the line. Vergara finds it and makes the play with plenty of room for out number 1.
Vergara's really fighting the sunlight when he goes after that ball. The sun is peeking over the right side, so streaming right into his eyes whenever he goes after anything.
First pitch to the righty Pendergrass is off the edge of his bat, foul. Pendergrass has grounded out twice to short and second. The 0-1 is battered to short. Barreras fielded at the thigh, throws on the first base, and got him by a stride. Out number 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Two quick outs, and here comes Jackson Sorensen. The big lefty gets a chat with head coach Ken Hokuff, perhaps talking some strategy or whatnot. Daly just waiting on the mound, ready to go. Sorensen now pulls away from his coach, circles around, and digs in on the left side. Today he is 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk. Daly's pitch, fastball, inside for a strike. Daly working fast, the 0-1 misses outside. Evens up the count 1 apiece.
Sorensen now under 300 on the year. He was above 300 for the longest time. The 1-1 pirouettes low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Daly's 2-1 outside. 3 balls, 1 strike.
He's falling back into that rut that affected him in the 4th inning when he was staying away from the strike zone. Don't make the batter chase if you're falling behind. You've got quality fielders behind you. Let the batter put it in play.
Daly works off the mound, but now walks back quickly. The 3-1 called a strike up and outside. Sorensen was just about ready to flip his bat and walk to first base with a walk, but nonetheless has himself a full count. And now home plate umpire has tossed Kanahoka for arguing that zone. Hoka made some sort of verbal disagreement with the ump, and he was tossed immediately and now comes out to make his case.
Wow, that is a really irresponsible move by Hoka. I know his team's down, so he wants to start a fire, but he's going to get suspended for the next game, which is even more important than this one. Or just as important.
Well, folks, if you heard that, some choice words with Hoka and his first base coach, who I believe might have also been tossed, because now an Anchorage Buck trots on to be the acting first base coach.
Yeah, it's Michael Sarhat. But that is a wildly irresponsible move by both coaches. Now, tomorrow, and for the rest of this game, both of these contests help decide home field advantage in the playoffs. Now, you're out 2 of your coaches against a team that you want to move into 3rd place.
Yeah, this could be some heavy sets of consequences here. Daly just played toss with Nolan Tucker to keep his arm fresh. Full count pitch to Sorensen, and it's left upstairs. So Sorensen, after all that, does earn himself a walk. So that is an unbelievable sequence right there.
It's not just irresponsible, it's stupid. That's a very bad hill to die on for one coach, let alone 2.
So here comes Turgeon. The righty takes a strike on the outside corner, and it's a 2-0 game, but the game-tied run is at the dish, and Turgeon has 3 long balls this season. The 0-1, way inside. 1-1 Lancia had to do some acrobatics to make the grab. Turgeon, despite his 3 home runs, has actually not homered here at Mulcahy Stadium. 2 of his home runs have come in Shugiak, the other in Kenai. The pitch, big swing and a miss. Fastball, got him up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Turgeon today has struck out twice already against Daly. Daly looking to K him for the 3rd time. Up 1-2, the pitch. Fastball left just upstairs. Bucs have stranded 2 runners in each of the last 2 frames. They trail Matsu 2-0. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Daly K's Turgeon for the 3rd time today and screams in euphoria as he walks off the mound. Through 6 full innings, it's Matsu 2, Anchorage 0. We'll be back for the 7th in just a few minutes.
The Anchorage Bucs are down 2 coaches after they were tossed. Head coach Ken Hokuff gone. Zach McLeod, the assistant coach, also out of the game. They argued the same balls and strikes call during the Jackson Sorensen at bat in the last frame, and it amounted to nothing either way because the Bucs didn't score and Sorensen still earned his walk. Now it's the top of the 7th inning. That was in the bottom of the 6th. The score stands at 2-0 Miners. Both their runs came through in the top of the 6th inning, thanks to a Nolan Tucker triple and a Caleb Hanna's single. Alongside Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Matsu is at the bats with its 2-3-4 hitters, and Alex Vergara, Steven Lancia, and Caden Carpenter. Those 3 have 0 hits between them. However, Vergara has reached base on a pair of walks. There's a new pitcher in the game for Anchorage as well, and Dylan Blakey, the lefty out of Saddleback College, comes up against the right-handed bat of Alex Vergara, a rising senior at Lipscomb. Blakey comes set, glove at the belt, kicks and fires. Fastball misses high and away. Blakey is a rising sophomore at Saddleback. He's a native to Irvine, California. Stands at 6'1", 205. This is his 6th appearance of the year. His 1-0. Fastball, same spot, high and away, ball 2. Blakey enters with a 261 earned run average. He's only allowed 3 earned runs, and each one came in a different appearance dating back to June 29th. 2-0, the pitch to Vergara. Fastball low and inside, misses for ball 3. Blakey has an all-brown glove with gray cleats and white laces. He leans in and comes set, glove at the hips. Raises right knee and deals. Fastball high and away, ball 4. And that's a promising sign for Matsu that Blakey comes into the game and immediately throws a 4-pitch walk. That brings up Matsu catcher Steven Lancia. He struggled today 0 for 3, but he also started out with an 0 for 3 line yesterday before clobbering a double. The righty out of UT Rio Grande Valley has a closed stance in the middle of the right box. First pitch, he swings, rips it deep to left center field, tailing back towards the warning track, up against the wall. It one-hops the fence. Vergara around third, he's coming home. Lancia cruises into second. The throw to the infield stops at shortstop. Steven Lancia has a first pitch RBI double. "3-0 the Miners lead on the fire starter hit from Lancia. His first hit of the day, and that brings up Caden Carpenter, the big lefty out of Utah, who smashed an RBI triple yesterday.
That was ripped from Lancia.
Well, the big catcher stands 2 strides off of second base. Carpenter on the left side of the batter's box. Blakey comes set, kicks and deals. Fastball misses high and away. So Dylan Blakey has thrown 6 pitches. 5 have missed the zone. The one that was hittable, Lancia drove a mile. And that incites a mound visit from the Anchorage pitching coach, Justin Mulvaney. And he and the trainer are standing on the hill talking to Blakey. This is the first time that the Miners have seen Blakey this season. Although he bats from the right side, although he throws from the left side, when he bats, it's from the right. However, he's strictly a pitcher. A PO, as the players call him, a pitcher only.
Yeah.
And Mulvaney shared some words with catcher Dylan Maltby on his way back to the dugout, perhaps giving some advice on what pitches to call. There's differing philosophies in the ABL over whether the coach calls the pitches or the catcher, and sometimes it changes. Runner on second, nobody out, 3-0 Miners top of the 7th inning. Lefty-lefty matchup, Blakey on the bump, Carpenter at the dish. 1-0 the count. Blakey fires. Fastball high and inside, it missed. Carpenter takes a step out of the box, spits over home plate and resettles. His gray batting gloves have red accents between the fingers. He's got white tape around his right wrist. Standing tall at the very back of the lefty batter's box. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses low, 3-0. Blakey really having trouble finding the zone as he's dealt 7 balls in 8 pitches. That one strike was clobbered to left center field for a double. 3-0 to Carpenter. Fastball at the knees for a strike. Finally.
Really? Hit a pitch you like. Wait for it.
So it's a 3-1 count for Carpenter. Runner on second, nobody out. Blakey from the stretch. Swing and a miss. Change up down low. Ties up Carpenter, and it's a full count. Carp has struggled today. He's 0 for 3. He struck out last time up on 5 pitches. That was against Sky Wells, who went 2 innings. Blakey comes set. His 3-2. Swung on, batted right back up the middle. Blakey fields it on the hop, lobs on to first, and holds Lancey at second. They got the out at first. 1 away with a runner in scoring position for Matsu.
Good reaction time there out of Blakey to stab that and check Lancia as well.
So the mound visit might have done some wonders as it brings up Maddox Haley batting from the right side. The San Diego State product is 0 for 2, although he scored the game's first run after walking last inning. Lefty-righty matchup. Haley held the bat in front of his face. Now he readies at the box. Blakey, a slow pitch from the stretch, fouled off to the right side. 0-1 count for Haley. The righty out of San Diego State scored from first for the game's opening run. And we've been talking about it all week, how he's dealing with that hobbled right ankle. He injured it against the Bucs back in Palmer the last time these two teams played over 2 weeks ago. The 0-1, Haley watches a fastball high and away, 1-1 count. Rather, the last time that Matsu beat the Bucs, they have played since then on the following Friday, just under 2 weeks ago. 1-1 count, Lancia hanging off of second base. The infielder is back. Blakey stays at second. There's 2 away with a runner in scoring position for Nolan Tucker. Matsu scored once this inning. Alex Vergara led off the frame with a walk, and Lancia brought him around on a double. Nolan Tucker had the game's first RBI with a triple to right field, rather left field, down the line. Lefty-lefty matchup. Blakey comes set, glove at the belt buckle, kicks and fires. Tucker swings, rips it up the middle and through to center field. Lancia around third, he's being waved home. Relay to the plate, won't get there. Lancia scores without a throw. Cut off by the first baseman. Nolan Tucker has his second RBI, and it's 4-0 Miners here in the top of the 7th. That brings up Sebastian Tomerlin, a runner on first, 2 away, 4-0, the Miners lead. Lefty-lefty matchup. Blakey leans in for the signal, now he comes set. Tomerlin crowding the plate, first pitch. Swings behind the fastball high and away for strike 1. Oh and 1 the count. Tucker hangs 4 steps off of first base, being held by Turgeon. 0-1 pitch. Looping curveball misses low. We're right near the Anchorage airport. Bunch of planes flying directly overhead here at Mulcahy Stadium, so the whir of the engine is constant here. 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses high, ball 2. And those planes, those taxi planes and Glacier ones, are the namesake for the Glacier pilots who share the stadium with the Bucs and share second place as well. They're tied half a game behind Matsu. 2-1 count. Tucker breaks for second. The pitch, blown away. Fastball misses. No throw to the bag. Nolan Tucker has a stolen base. Second one of the day for the Miners. And for Tucker, that's his 5th on the year. 3-1 count for Tomerlin with a runner now in scoring position. The Miners lead 4-0 in the top of the 7th with 2 away. Lefty-lefty matchup, 3-1 count. Blakey kicks and deals. Misses high and inside. Tomerlin is aboard with a walk. The first time he's reached base today. That brings up Caleb Hannes. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI single last time up. However, that at bat will have to wait. Blakey's day is done. The pitching coach has come out, but that pitching coach is also the head coach. Mulvaney takes the ball from his pitcher, and we'll update you as soon as we can on who the new arm might be. We do know that it is a righty. We'll be back in just a moment with an update on the new pitcher in this 4-0 Mat-Su lead. We're back in the top of the 7th inning. Mat-Su leads 4-0 with Austin Barach. I'm Jesse Cook. There's a new pitcher on the hill for the Bucs. J.D. Goodcase, a righty out of San Diego, University of San Diego, is replacing Dylan Blakey. The lefty went 2/3 of an inning, 21 pitches, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks. There's a runner on second and a runner on first for Mat-Su. A righty-righty matchup. Caleb Hannes at the plate. 2 away, 4-0 they lead. Goodcase comes set. The righty fires. Fastball low and away for strike 1. Hannes is 1 for 3 with an RBI hit today. Goodcase has a .495 earned run average on the season. This is his 14th appearance, which puts him as the most reliable arm in the league. Or relied upon, I should say. He checks at second. Umpire calls time. Goodcase, his 14 appearances stand above Mat-Su's trio of Vinny Bianchi, Ethan Lake, and Larry Westall, who were tied with him for the lead of 13 games. Coverage over second, the throw home. Hannes swings and misses at the high fastball. It's an 0-2 count. Larry Westall is, of course, warming up for Mat-Su, so if that goes as planned, then he will tie Goodcase again for the most appearances in the league. First and second base covered for Mat-Su. 2 away, 4-0 they lead. 0-2 count for Hannes. Goodcase swivels his head between second and home. Throws to the plate. The 0-2 misses up high. 1-2 count. Goodcase has gone against the minors twice this season. Last time out was July 21st. Went 2 innings, allowed 2 hits and 1 run, striking out 3. 1-2 count for Hannes. A pitch from the stretch. Swing and a pop-up infield grass in front of the mound. Goodcase races in and makes the grab. Tosses the ball to the side after it. And that moves us to the 7th inning stretch. 4-0 the Miners lead. Scoring a pair thanks to a Steven Lancey double and a Nolan Tucker single. The Bucs come up to the plate, trailing by 4 in just a moment. The action continues here in Anchorage. The Miners lead 4-0 in a battle for first place. Mat-Su sits a half game ahead of the hometown Anchorage Bucs, as well as the team with whom they share this ballpark, the Glacier Pilots. Larry Westall comes in to replace Camden Daly for Mat-Su on the bump. The righty sidearm pitcher out of Incarnate Word replaces Daly, just transferred to BYU. He went 6 innings, allowed just 1 hit, no runs. With Austin Barach on Jesse Cook, the Bucs have their 6, 7, 8 hitters coming up, and catcher Dylan Maltby, DH Zach Thomas, and shortstop Logan Hokuff. Maltby is 0 for 2. He hits from the right side. Westall enters this game with a 193 earned run average, making his 14th appearance of the year. The first pitch, Maltby swings way out in front of the changeup, high and away. An 0-1 count. Maltby is the grandson of the general manager of these Bucs, Sean Maltby. He crowds the plate. Second pitch, slider misses low and away. Westall juts his arms out, resets on the bump. This is his 5th time going up against the Bucs. The pitch misses low and inside. Ball 2. Last time Larry went against Anchorage, pitched an inning on Friday, July 21st, and the Miners lost. 9-5, the Bucs won. Pitch. Changeup misses low and inside. Ball 3. In that inning, he allowed 3 runs, only one of which was earned. The Bucs strung together 4 hits off of Westall. It's a hitter's count for Maltby. He has yet to reach base today. The pitch. Swing and a miss behind the fastball. A full count. Westall stretches his arms, now peers in, leaning forward towards home. He comes set. The 3-2. Swing and a grounder to short. Barreras fields it on the hop. Fires on to first. And he got him. Westall retires his first batter by way of the ground out, and that brings up Zach Thomas, who doubled his last time up for the Bucs' only hit.
Yeah, hard to imagine that this Bucs lineup has been totally dominated today so far.
Zach Thomas digs in on the right side. First pitch misses low and away. He's someone who normally hits the Miners really very well. Thomas has a .345 batting average against Mat-Su. 1-0 count. The pitch. Swinging a pop-up, first base side, and foul out of play. It's a 1-1 count. Westall readjusts his cap off to the right side of that pitching rubber, takes a deep breath, and cocks his head to the left side. Now he's back on the bump, looks home, dangles his right arm, and comes set in that triangle formation. The 1-1. Swing and a drive, deep left field. Vergara chasing back. He's about 10 steps in front of the wall, and he makes the catch. Thomas put a charge into that, but not quite enough battery power to forward it over the wall. Vergara makes his 3rd catch in left field near the warning track, his 4th play out there all day. 2 away for Logan Hokuff, the shortstop. His dad is now out of the ballpark. First pitch, the righty pops it up to shortstop. Barreras floats in and makes the one-handed grab. So a bad couple frame for the Hokuff family after head coach Ken gets tossed. Logan pops out. The Bucs go down 1-2-3 in the 7th and still only have 1 hit today as the Miners lead 4-0. We move on to the top of the 8th. Time keeps ticking away in Anchorage, and the Miners are counting down to a win, up 4-0. It's the top of the 8th inning. The first place Miners lead the Bucs by half a game in the standings. They come up to bat with Emilio Barreras, a 9-hitter, followed by the top of the order in Vest and Vergara. J.D. Goodcase, the righty out of San Diego, on the bump for his second inning of work. First pitch to the lefty shortstop is low for a ball. Jesse Cook with you alongside Austin Barach in this Mulcahy Stadium press box. The sun creeping over the right field side. 1-0 to Barreras from the stretch. Swings and pool cues it off to the left side, out of play. It's been a hot one out here in Anchorage, and it seems like it's either perfect weather or rain terrible outlook. Today it's been low 70s, few clouds in the sky as well. The 1-1. Emilio swings and drives it up the middle for a base hit. Barreras has his first knock of the day, and the Miners have their leadoff man aboard. So that brings up the top of the order in Cooper Vest, who started out red hot with a pair of singles, but has tapered off in his last pair of plate appearances with a 3-pitch strikeout and a pop out to short. The left-handed hitting first baseman crowds the plate at the very back of the box. Goodcase with his brown glove at his left hip resettles, takes a couple steps on the rubber. Kicks and deals. Vest checks his swing, fastball misses up high for a ball. The Mat-Su Bats came alive in the last couple innings. 2 runs in each of the sixth and the 7th, 2 hits in each frame as well. Barreras 2 strides off of first base. He stands low. The 1-0. Misses up high, gets behind Maltby. Barreras jogs into second base with no contest. The first wild pitch of the game comes back to bite the Bucs. Goodcase sent it wide, and it's a 2-0 count for Vest, with now a runner in scoring position. Mat-Su scored its first run on an RBI triple from Nolan Tucker that scored Maddox Haley from first in the 6th inning. Caleb Hanna's brought around Tucker after that. Last inning, Steven Lancia doubled home Alex Vergara from first. 2-0 for Vest from the stretch. Fastball misses up high, ball 3. That 4th run came around on another Nolan Tucker knock. An RBI single brought Lancia through from second base. Emilio Barreras leads the team in RBIs, but he's on second. Nolan Tucker is second in the Ribby department with 17. He also leads the team in runs with 23. Goodcase resettles in the middle of the rubber, stares at second, deals home. The 3-0 misses up high, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Cooper Vest. Mat-Su's got runners on first and second for Alex Vergara, who has walked 3 times today. This game has a lot of bearing on the standings. Catcher Dylan Maltby just jogged out to talk to Goodcase, but quickly retreats to the plate. Mat-Su leads the Bucs and the Glacier Pilots by half a game for first place. These teams will all play each other again in the next few days to round out the regular season. And they're trying to decide who gets home field advantage. Righty-righty matchup. Vergara sits in a low stance on the right side of the box. Goodcase fires. Fastball high and away for a strike.
Jesse, you're absolutely right. If Mat-Su can hold on here and win this game, they move to a game and a half ahead of these Bucs and also jump ahead in the season series, 5 wins to 4.
That's right. Mat-Su is either tied or won every season series so far. Goodcase looks at second, deals home the 0-1, misses up high. 1-1 count for Vergara. The Miners lead 4-0 in the top of the 8th inning with nobody out. The 2-hitter in the lineup up at the plate. Barreras the runner on second, Vest on first. Those two have already shared the base path once today, but neither of them scored in that frame. That was back in the 3rd. The 1-1. Fastball in the turf low for ball 2. A 2-1 count for Vergara. That 3rd inning looked like a blueprint for the rest of the game for Mat-Su, and not one that anyone wanted to build upon, because they loaded the bases with nobody out but couldn't bring anyone around. A walk, a hit, and a walk were followed by 3 pop-outs. 2-1 pitch to Vergara. Misses up high, ball 3. Alex Vergara is not prone to the walk, or he wasn't before today, with only 6 bases on balls entering this game, but he's already walked 3 times. Now he's got a hitter's count at 3-1. Good case, takes a deep breath, his glove at his hip, takes a step in the middle of the rubber and resets. Looks at second, Barach dances off the bag. The pitch home. Swung on and popped up over the backstop for a foul ball. It's a full count for Vergara.
And remember, Vergara began the game with a long fly ball that was nearly a home run, called foul, and then Vergara would end up walking for the first of, as you said, 3 times today.
That's right, he crushed the ball easily, 350 feet. It's 325 down the left field line, and he cleared the fence by plenty. Full count, runners on first and second, nobody out, top of the 8th, 4-0 Miners. Good case, pitching from the stretch, fires, swing and a miss. Vergara turned around on a high fastball and couldn't find it. First out of the inning, first strikeout for Good case.
With 1 out, I'll bring up the catcher from UG Rio Grande.
1 away, runners on first and second. That brings up catcher Steven Lancia, who blasted an RBI double his last time up. He's had a game that mirrored yesterday when he returned after 3 games off. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch, fastball misses low and away. Lancia had played in 10 straight games, so he took an extended period of time off over the last weekend. He returned yesterday, started out 0 for 3, but crushed a double after that. And it was the same idea today. An 0 for 3 start followed by a double. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a drive, left field, shallow outfield grass, creeps back into the infield. Hokuff chases on the infield dirt, and he makes the catch, running over to the third base side. Lancia cracked that ball high, but the wind is traveling out to right field and wrangled it in a little bit. That brings up Caden Carpenter. He could use a spark. The big lefty is 0 for 4. And Austin, he'd been hot today, just not the case.
He's been swinging good bats, settling into that cleanup spot as of late. Perhaps he's due.
Runners on first and second, 2 away. Righty on the bump, lefty at the dish. Good case. Looks at second, races his left leg and fires. Misses low and away, gets behind Maltby. Both runners advance on the wild pitch. Barreras into third, Vest at second. And they hold there. That is the second wild pitch of this inning for Good case. However, Matsu has not capitalized on anything to the tune of a run in this frame. It's a 1-0 count for Carpenter. This is not the only game going on in the ABL right now. A battle for the last playoff spot between the Chinooks and Oilers also going on down on the peninsula. The 1-0. Swinging a drive down the left field line, tailing foul towards the fence. Pendergrast in pursuit at the wall, and it lands just in front of him. A foul ball keeps Carpenter alive. If that was half a foot, 6 inches back to the right, Pendergrast makes the catch.
Yeah, it hit that chain-linked fence that marks the bullpen, the start of the bullpen, if you will, for Anchorage.
Momentary pause on the field. Carpenter was still at first base for a while, talking to pitching coach and first base coach Steve Hecker. Alex Haley retrieved his bat for him, but the Utah native is back in the box. The Oilers lead the Chinooks 5-4, and that could decide the first round opponent for either of these teams in the playoffs. 1-1 pitch to Carpenter. Swinging a rope out to short. Hokuff fields it on the backhand on the shallow outfield grass. Crow hops and throws to first, and he got him. Matsu threatens but doesn't bite here in the top of the 8th, although it doesn't really matter if the pitching staff stays as hot as it's been. The Bucs have just 1 hit. We move on to the bottom of the 8th inning when Anchorage tries to prevail against this Matsu team. Larry Westall running back to the bump. He pitched a hitless, runnerless, scoreless frame when he came in for the 7th. 4-0 Miners as we move on to the bottom of the 8th. We'll be back in just a moment. despite the bright skies, it's late in the game here in Anchorage. Blue skies and only a couple clouds stand over this field with the sun peering in over the right field wall. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. 4-0 Miners, bottom of the 8th inning. Larry Westall on the hill for his second inning of work. The righty's got the 9-hitter Curtis Bear. First pitch to the righty. This is high and away for a ball. Bear is an Anchorage native. Went to South Anchorage High and won a couple of state championships with that team. The second baseman is 0 for 1 today. That pitch comes in, misses high and away. Westall's slider hasn't found its spot yet thus far. He's tried it 3 different times and missed the zone on each occasion.
You just said that Bear is just 0 for 1.
2-0, he swings and cracks it down the third base line and foul.
Which is pretty remarkable considering that 4 hitters for Matsu have 5 plate appearances.
That's right. Bear has come up to the plate twice. He flied out and walked. Matsu nearly pitching the minimum in this game. It's the 27th batter in the 8th inning. The 2-1. Front door slider catches the zone for a strike. Westall hits Paydart on that breaking pitch for the first time today. 2-2 count, bases empty, nobody out. 4-0 Miners. The pitch. Bear swings and misses. Behind Westall's fastball low and inside, and Crazy Larry has his first strikeout of the game. Curtis Bear has struggled so much in the month of July. That out moves him to just 5 for 34. That brings up Joey Narrett. He's second on the team in batting average, although today he's been dead last, 0 for 3. First pitch to the lefty. Slider low and inside for ball 1. Narrett led off the game with a fly out to left field that almost cleared the fence if it weren't for the leaping antics of Alex Vergara. Then he struck out and flied out again. Pitch comes in, forces a swing and miss. 1-1 count. Narrett, someone who maybe a week ago could have been in the conversation for the top player in the league, but he's really tailed off since then. 1 hit in the last 3 games. Pitch. Swing and a pop-up foul off to the left side and out of play. 1-2 count. Narrett readjusts his white batting gloves and settles back in, crowding the plate on the left side. Westall resets the pitch. Swing and a grounder up the middle. Barrera's fielded at short, throws on to first, and plenty of time for the out. 2 away with no base runners here in the 8th inning. Larry Westall is coming in style. Entered in the 7th, and he's retired his first 5 batters, including the leadoff man in this order. That brings up Lex Bodeker. While Narrett maybe a week ago, like we said, could have been in the MVP conversation, Bodeker absolutely is a front runner for it.
Bodeker with his power, his average, so many things to like about him.
First pitch misses low and away. Westall's fastball couldn't tick the zone. And Bodeker brings a lot in the realm of consistency, too. It seems like every time he comes up to the plate, there's a possibility. The 1-0. Swinging a drive, left center field. Vergara backtracks to the warning track and makes the grab. 1-2-3 go the Bucs in the bottom of the 8th inning, and we move on to the final frame of play. Matsu up big time, 4-0. We'll be back in just a moment. back at it for the top of the 9th inning from Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska with Austin Barach. I'm Jesse Cook. The Miners come to the plate leading 4-0 in this battle for first place. Mat-Su sits a half game ahead of these Bucs, who are tied with the other Anchorage squad in the Glacier Pilots for second. Bucs are 20-16. The Miners 20-15. Looking to ensure that they will end the season above 500. This is the most dangerous part of the order in this game for Mat-Su. Miners have only scored when these guys have come up to the plate. Maddox Haley leading off, followed by Nolan Tucker, who's got a pair of RBIs, and Sebastian Tomerlin. J.D. Goodcase on the bump for his third inning of work, a righty-righty matchup between two San Diego natives. Goodcase goes to University of San Diego, and Haley at San Diego State. First pitch. Check swing on a fastball in the turf. Haley did not go around. 1-0 count. Maddox today is 0 for 3, but he scored the game's first run, hobbling from first all the way home on a Nolan Tucker triple. Haley, of course, injured that right ankle about 2 weeks ago. Goodcase steps into the windup and fires. Fastball misses high and inside. And Haley told me that it doesn't hurt a whole lot, it just feels like he's dragging dead weight down there, and he's waiting for it to heal fully. 2-0 count. Goodcase from the windup. Fastball misses high and inside. Some chin music had Haley dancing backwards out of the box, and it's a 3-0 count. There's no action in the Mat-Su bullpen, nor is there in the Anchorage bullpen. The 3-0. Fastball at the letters for ball 4. Mat-Su has a batter reach on a 4-pitch walk for the third time today. Happened to Alex Vergara back in the 7th inning, as well as Nolan Tucker earlier in this game. He digs in on the left side of the plate. Runner on first, nobody out, 4-0 Miners here in the top of the 9th inning. Mat-Su is also winning the hitting game 7-1. Cannon Daly pitched 6 beautiful innings for the Miners to start this game, allowing just 1 hit, a double to designated hitter Zach Thomas. Goodcase readies with the glove at the belt on the far right side of the rubber. Stares at first, throws home. Tucker watches a fastball high and away, ball 1. Realistically, in this inning, that's pitch 5, ball 5.
Yeah. I mean, for Tyler Brunn, I guess the plan here, Daly for 6 and Westall for 3.
1-0 to Tucker. Fastball misses high and away. Well, why take Larry Westall out when he's been so efficient? The righty sidearm pitcher has faced 6 batters and recorded outs every single time. The Anchorage Airport not too far away. You can hear the engines over us going right over the ballpark. Kind of a cool sight. The 2-0. Fastball high and inside, misses again. Goodcase can't find the zone. Nolan Tucker does have a smaller frame than some of the other players on the team. He's 5'9", which is the shortest stature on the Miners roster, and he crouches low.
Here we go with his 3-0 thing.
Crowds the plate, chokes up on the bat, crouching even lower than normal. The 3-0. This is high and away. That would have been a ball to anyone. Mat-Su boards its first 2 runners here in the top of the 9th, both on 4-pitch walks.
And you can see Tucker smile as to his dugout as he flipped the bat. I think all the guys know that is his move at a 3-0 count.
Now there is some very hurried action in the Anchorage bullpen. A righty warming up. We'll update you as soon as we can on who that may be.
And Landon Rogers is pinch running for Maddox Haley, which makes total sense. It really does.
That's right. You want the runner on second to score. Haley probably won't have another at-bat today. He has really struggled running around the bases with that ankle injury, so Landon Rogers replacing him. That brings up Sebastian Tomerlin. The left-handed hitting center fielder is hitless today in 2 at-bats, 4 plate appearances. He laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 4th and walked last time up. Other than that, a pair of strikeouts. Righty-lefty matchup, first pitch. Fastball low and inside at the knees for a strike. So Goodcase has his first strike of the inning. Rogers on second, Tucker at first. Rogers being held. The 0-1 spurs to bunt, but pulls back. The fastball catches the higher inside part of the zone for strike 2. Shortstop Logan Hokiff keeps creeping up behind Landon Rogers, awaiting a throw at second. The rest of the infield is playing a little closer than normal. Corner is in on the grass. 0-2 count, nobody out. Runners on first and second for the left-handed hitting Tomerlin. Good case from the right side, fires. This is low and inside, and it hit Tomerlin on the knee. Catcher Dylan Maltby slid for the ball, and he's in a little bit of pain, favoring his right knee. Looks like the ball caught him in an unprotected area above the shin guard. Maltby stands up and starts to walk it off, so a positive sight for the Bucs. But an even better looking sight for Matsu, as the Miners have loaded the bases for Caleb Hannes, who already has an RBI single today. Righty-righty matchup. Good case comes set. Hannes crowding the plate at the back of the box. The first pitch goes high and inside and plunks him on the helmet. Hannes has his second RBI of the game. He's all right. That brings home a run to make it 5-0 Matsu. JD Goodcase has dealt just 2 strikes this inning. The other 10 pitches have all missed the zone, 2 of them hitting a Matsu batter. Catcher Dylan Maltby runs out to the mound, talks with Goodcase behind his glove, both of them facing the third base dugout.
Would it be fair to say that Goodcase right now facing him is borderline dangerous?
There is a thought process behind that, and pitching coach Justin Mulvaney, who's the acting head coach, agrees with you, Austin. He takes a trip out to the rubber and takes the ball from Goodcase. So that is it for the righty out of San Diego. He leaves the ball game with a 5-0 lead for Matsu, and the bases loaded. Nobody out here in the top of the 9th. Matsu has its 9-hitter, and Emilio Barreras due up. There is a new arm coming on for the Bucs, a righty. Again, it's hard to tell who that is, so we will update you after a quick break on who the new pitcher is for Anchorage. We'll be back in just a moment. 5-0 Miners. We're back for the top of the 9th inning. A new pitcher on the hill for the Bucs. Oliver Brown replaces J.D. Goodcase, righty for righty. Goodcase went just an inning and a third, allowed 1 hit. Thus far, just 1 run. 3 walks, 1 strikeout, 2 hit batsmen. Matsu leads 5-0 with nobody out in the top of the 9th. The bases loaded for Emilio Barreras, who leads the team in RBIs with 23. Alongside Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Barreras bats from the left side. Brown pitches from the right, although he stands on the far left of the pitching rubber. Infield in for Anchorage, outfield back. The first pitch, fastball low and inside, misses for a ball. Brown enters this game with a 2-1 record, a .363 earned run average, this being his 8th appearance, 7th time coming out of the bullpen. He struck out 15 batters in 17 1/3 innings. The 1-0. Emilio swings, cuts it to center field. Boddicker is on it, moving to his right, makes the grab. Runner tags from third, comes home without a throw. 6-0 Mat-Su leads. Emilio Barreras has his team leading 24th RBI of the season. And that scores Tucker from third.
There's one out, that'll bring up the first baseman from
There's no more action on the bases besides that. Tomerlin stays at second, Hanna's at first. Cooper Vest, the batter now, the top of the order. He's 2 for 4. He reached on a walk last time up, singled in back-to-back at-bats to begin the game. After that, he struck out and popped out. Righty-lefty matchup, 1 away, 6-0 Mat-Su, top of the 9th. Brown pitching from the stretch, fires. Swing and a pool cue to the left side, foul.
the foul ball is brought
Brown
to
is
the
an
bases.
Anchorage native, like Curtis Hebert, his second baseman, and Isaac Johnson, another relief pitcher for this team. He attended South Anchorage High School, winning a pair of Alaska State championships in 2021 and 2022. 0-1 count for Vest. Brown kicks his left leg high, fires. Fastball low and away, called a strike. Brown, Hebert, and Johnson were called by Prep Baseball Report a terrific trio back in their high school days. So they're all playing together again, although this is a less happy occasion as they trail 6-0 in a battle for first place. Brown stares at second, turns to home, his 0-2. Swing and a pop-up, first base side and foul ground. Maltby chases towards the Mat-Su visiting dugout, and that ball is out of play. Looks like a fan fielded that ball on the hop over the dugout, which resulted in some cheering from the section around first base.
Yeah, I wonder if it was a Miners fan who made the trek, given the celebratory nature of the Miners in the dugout.
0-2 count for Vest after the foul ball. The 0-2. Swing and a drive down the right field line. That's fair on the ground, tailing towards the fence. 1 run scores. Tomerlin races home. Hanna's around third. Relay home to the plate. Not in time. 8-0 Mat-Su leads. Cooper Vest doubles home a pair. So after Emilio Barrera sends around his team-leading 24th RBI of the season, Vest, who's second in the ribby department, brings home 18-19. 8-0 Mat-Su leads. A runner in scoring position was still just 1 out in the top of the 9th inning, and the power-hitting bat of Alex Vergara at the plate. The righty has struggled in this one, 0 for 2 with 3 walks, but he leads the league with 4 home runs. Brown comes set. He fires. Swing and a pop-up. Shallow center field behind second base. Creeping back in on the infield grass. Hokuff chases in and makes the grab one-handed next to his left shoulder. Vergara's pop-out quiets the hot bats of Mat-Su. Now there's 2 away in the top of the 9th. Steven Lancia comes up to the dish with a runner on second. Mat-Su has scored 4 runs this inning. One of them off of a bases-loaded hit by pitch, then a sacrifice fly, and Vest's 2-bagger that brought home a pair. Lancia has an RBI double today. That came in the 7th. First pitch to the righty. Misses low for a ball. The UT Rio Grande Valley product is the 8th batter of this inning. He's 1 for 4. That RBI double, he later scored in that inning, but after that, a couple pop-outs and a strikeout, as well as a fly-out into left field. Brown looks at second, swivels back to home, kicks and deals. Swing and a miss behind the fastball. It's a 1-1 count for Lancia. And Austin, Lancia really jumped into a leadership role after rejoining the team. He was all ABL last season, and it seems like him and Vergara both returned to the team without skipping a beat.
Everybody loves him.
1-1 count. Swing and a rip up the middle through to center field on the ground. It pops off the barrier between the outfield grass and the infield turf. Vest rounds third and scores without a throw. 9-0, Matsu leads in the top of the ninth inning. 5 of those runs coming in this ultimate frame. Lancia has an RBI single, and that brings up the 9th batter of the inning in Caden Carpenter.
Steven Lancia, the difference between a 1 for 6 day and a 2 for 6 day with a pair of RBIs. Back up the middle, the best hit in baseball.
Short lead for Lancia on first. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch to Carpenter. Fastball misses high and away. Carp is 0 for 5. He struck out in the 6th, and it's a bunch of groundouts and pop-outs besides that.
No batting gloves for him now.
Right, he's been experimenting with the fashion on the hands lately. 1-0. Waits on a fastball high and away. Ball 2. There was a period of time where he tossed his Utah gloves aside and borrowed some of Maddox Haley's San Diego State kits. When those didn't work to his liking, he went back to the Utah gloves.
Well,
now none. 2-0. Swinging a pop-up foul over the left side and out of play.
I have a Seinfeld-ish little theory on this. Guys usually lose batting gloves purposely when they're going through a struggle in a day. We saw Landon Rogers lose 1 when he was 0 for 3 the other day. Carpenter now 0 for 5, losing both gloves. So I think there's a relationship there between batting gloves and struggle.
Maybe so. 2-1 pitch. Waits on the backdoor curveball for a strike. You thinking like Jerry Seinfeld? See, men, when they come up to the plate, they try maybe one batting glove off to change up their slump, but if it's really going bad, then you can throw them all out the window.
Yes, exactly.
I hope I did Jerry justice there.
Insert laugh track here.
2-2 pitch to Carpenter. Swings, rips it up the middle, off of Brown's thigh. It pitter-patters to second base, and Carpenter is aboard on a base hit. A sharp shot up the middle. Brown shakes it off and waves to his team that he's okay. And Matsu is now batting around. Pitching coach Justin Mulvaney takes a trip to the rubber to talk to Brown. Dylan Maltby joins him on the hill. And they both quickly retreat to their original spots.
And Anchorage, about 5 minutes ago, pulled all their remaining pitchers from the bullpen to the dugout. It's Brown or bust. He's going the rest of the way unless he truly had a severe injury.
That brings up Landon Rogers. He didn't think he'd get an at-bat today. He pinch ran for Maddox Haley earlier in this inning, but now the righty out of Gainesville, Florida, is up at the plate. Runners on first and second, 2 away. 9-0 Miners, top of the ninth. The pitch from the stretch. Swings and foul tips it to the backstop. Rogers enters this game with a 193 batting average. Last time out, he went 0 for 3 against the Chinooks on Monday out in Chugiak. That's the last time the Miners traveled on the road before this stretch of 4 games in Anchorage. The 0-1. Fastball high and away for strike 2. An 0-2 count for Rogers. He's been a victim to 19 strikeouts this season. He's got runners on first and second. Lancia on second, Carpenter on first. 2 away, 9-0 Matsu, top of the ninth. Brown from the stretch. Front door curveball, kisses low and away for strike 3. Anchorage finally escapes a disaster inning, but for Matsu, it's a party, scoring 5 runs thanks to a bases-loaded hit by pitch, a sacrifice fly, a 2-run double, and an RBI single. We move on to the bottom of the ninth inning, the Bucs in desperation mode, and Matsu 3 outs away from taking a stranglehold on first place. We'll be back in just a moment. 9-0, the Miners lead. 3 outs separate Matsu from a road win over the Anchorage Bucs. The Miners lead 9-0 here in the bottom of the 9th inning with Austin Barach. I'm Jesse Cook. There's a new arm on the bump for the M's. Matthew Lighthall making his 3rd appearance of the season. The righty out of Littleton, Colorado, has the 3-4-5 hitters. Alex Pendergrass leading off. First pitch to the righty. He swings, drives it to right field. Carpenter barely has to move, juts in a couple steps to his left and makes the grab. 1 pitch, 1 up, 1 down in the bottom of the 9th. Lighthall with a sweet start.
Lighthall made his debut for the Miners right here at Mulcahy last week against the Glacier Pilots. He's been pretty productive so far in a few outings.
That's right. He's gone 3 innings, only 1 run allowed. First pitch on the way to Sorensen. Ball low and outside. Jackson Sorensen has reached on a pair of walks, but he struck out his only other time to the plate. 1-0 count, the pitch. Swinging a drive to left field. Vergara chases back towards the fence on the warning track, feels for the wall and makes the catch. Sorensen took it far, but not far enough, and Anchorage is quickly down to its final out.
Yeah, Vergara stumbled ever so slightly, hitting those pebbles, that gravel, if you will, of the warning track. Looked at it afterwards after making the grab.
That brings up Dante Turgeon with the game on the line, although it's a steep hill to climb if he wants to bring it back. First pitch to the righty. Fastball high and inside for a ball. Turgeon has struck out 3 times today, all of them on 5 pitch at-bats. The 1-0. Waits on a fastball above the belt, 2-0 count. These teams will play again right here tomorrow at 6 p.m. for the last meeting of the regular season. 2-0. Swinging a foul tip into Lancia's mitt. Base is empty, 2 away, 9-0 the Miners lead in the bottom of the 9th inning here in Anchorage. Turgeon at the back of the box. The 2-1. Checks a swing on a fastball high and inside, it's a ball. The Miners will make 3 more trips to Anchorage this weekend before the end of the season. The 3-1. Swings, drives it to first base, but foul, and it's a full count for Turgeon, meaning that the Bucs are down to their final strike. Lighthall down to pair by way of the K in his last outing. That was at home against the Bucs when he went 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, 1 run on 2 walks. The 3-2 pitch for the game. Fastball misses up high, and Turgeon boards on a walk. It'll be a long time before the base runner situation gets at all tense in this 9th inning. Matsu is ahead 9-0. The Bucs have strung together just 1 hit today. Dylan Maltby, the catcher, stands at the plate, the back of the batter's box. Lighthall fires. Fastball misses high and inside. The Miners did all of their damage in the latter half of the game, scoring 2 runs in the 6th, 2 more in the 7th, and 5 in the top of the 9th. The 1-0. Fastball, same spot, same result, 2-0 count. Those first 2 Miners runs came around thanks to a Nolan Tucker triple and a Caleb Hanna's single. 2-0. Fastball again above the belt for ball 3. The second pair of runs came in the following inning when Steven Lancia doubled home Alex Vergara and Nolan Tucker earned his 2nd RBI with a base hit. The 3-0. Fastball above his head for ball 4. Lighthall, after starting out strong with back-to-back outs, has surrendered back-to-back walks. Matsu in the top half of the 9th inning worked really well. A lot of the key players in that rally gather around the mound to talk to Lighthall. Cooper Vest, who had that 2-run double. Emilio Barreras, a shortstop, had that sacrifice fly. And Steven Lancia, the catcher, had an RBI hit of his own. Those 3 break away from Lighthall and let him stew on the mound. Caleb Hanna's, the 3rd baseman, was the finishing piece in that series of RBIs as he took a pitch off the helmet to bring home a runner from 3rd. A bases-loaded hit by pitch. Zach Thomas comes up to the plate, batting from the right side. First pitch. Fastball high and away. 1-0 count. Nobody is sitting in that Matsu bullpen, so it is likely up to Lighthall to figure things out. 1-0 count, the pitch. Fastball at the belt for strike one. So there you go. He figures it out. He had missed on 6 consecutive pitches. 1-1 count. The pitch from the stretch. Half swing and a miss. 1-2 count. The Bucs are once again down to their final strike. There's runners on first and second. Maltby on first, Turgeon on second. 2 away, 9-0 Miners, bottom of the ninth. Lighthall from the stretch. Fastball misses high and away for a ball. Matsu leads Anchorage by half a game for first place. The Bucs are tied with the Glacier Pilots for second. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a drive up the middle through to center field on the ground for a hit. Runner held at third. Turgeon stops there, and the bases are loaded for the Bucs with 2 away. That is the second hit of the game for the Bucs and the second hit for Zach Thomas. If it weren't for him, the Miners would be hedging their bets on history.
Yeah, that is something right there. Just the second hit of the game, absolutely. And that was not the greatest of contact.
When deciding the playoff picture. The 1-1, swinging another pop-up into foul ground, out of playoff to the right side. With that loss, the Chinooks are 3.5 games out of the last playoff spot with 4 games to go. 1-2 count, bases loaded, 2 away, bottom of the ninth. The pitch. Swing and a pop-up, infield grass, first base side. Vest creeps in next to the bag, reaches up with one hand and makes the grab. Matsu downs Anchorage in the first leg of 2 games to end the season series. 9-0 the final. The Miners move into a 1.5 game lead for first place.
Who's got home safely? Bucs will be back tomorrow.
The Miners pitching staff holds strong, only allowing 2 hits on the day, but the bats back them up incredibly well with all 9 runs coming in the last 4 innings. Matsu really put together a full team effort in this one. Matsu's bats also cobbled together 10 hits for the win. Everything worked well like a machine for this coaching staff.
You love to see it, Jesse. You really do. The offense complements the pitching complements the offense. I mean, one day after Brandon Downer goes a complete 9 innings, he gets 6 strong from Daly. His best outing of the season, just 1 hit allowed for Cannon Daly. Westall, he's been relied upon so many times. Comes in with just over 2 ERA. You figure that's going to be below 2 once the stats are inputted today. He has no runs, no hits, no walks in his 2 innings. And then Lighthall, just does the job here in the ninth. Works around a couple walks that Blue Pit and gets the job done. And I mean, Nolan Tucker, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 2 walks for him. Tomlin scored, Hanna's scored, had a couple of RBIs as well. He keeps racking up those ribbies. So many guys up and down the order. Cooper Vest, too. So many guys had productive days at the dish.
Well, it takes a village. Matsu took its entire team, especially in this last stretch of the season. You're going on the road to Anchorage, a ballpark with which you've already had problems dating back to that first week of the season when the pitching rubber was an unsafe surface and the game had to be postponed. The players have been very vocal, as has Tyler Brunn, about their disdain for playing here in Anchorage. So with the playoffs coming up and the prospect of having to spend 2 to 3, maybe even 5 or 6 games at Mulcahy Stadium after this stretch of 4 in a row, it's a pretty daunting concept for these guys.
Absolutely, and this is the first game for the Bucs since Sunday, so they've had many days to stew on a 13-2 win in Chugiak. But newsflash, the Miners are not the Chinooks, and this is a Matsu team that just had big-time statement wins against the other 2 top teams in the league yesterday and today in the Glacier Pilots and the Bucs. Now, of course, that whole narrative can get flipped on its head this weekend. Okay, just a 2-game sample size, but you're trending in the right direction if you're Matsu. You evened up the season series with the Glacier Pilots yesterday, and you're ahead in the season series with the Bucs now with a chance to clinch the season series back here tomorrow.
So the Miners move ahead 5 games to 4 over the Bucs. Like you said, they can clinch the season series, but they officially know they will not lose the regular season setup to the Bucs. Playoffs are a different concept. Those start on Tuesday, and the playoff picture still has yet to be finalized. Matsu is a game and a half ahead of the Bucs, a game ahead of the Glacier Pilots, and that means that they still likely need to win 2 games out of these last 3 to assure first place. The Bucs and the Glacier Pilots will meet on Sunday, and that will have some say. If Matsu can win tomorrow, then they'll probably end up rooting for the Bucs in that Sunday affair.
So help me out with some magic number stuff here, Jesse. Matsu now has 21 wins on this season. The Bucs now have 17 losses, so that's 38. The Miners only play 39 games, so 39 plus 1 is 40, right? So the magic number is 2. So that can happen tomorrow. If Matsu beats the Bucs tomorrow, the Miners at least clinch themselves home for the first round.
Yes, if the Miners win one more game, they will clinch home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs, the ABL, the top of the world semifinal, if you will. So, Matsu has a good note, back-to-back wins over the 2 Anchorage teams hankering for their spot in first place. Miners still have a long, heavy road ahead of them to even clinch home field advantage or a first place spot at the end of this regular season. So with potentially 9 games left to be played, including the playoffs, you won't want to miss a second of any of the action. Game 2 between these teams, Game 10 on the season, is set for 6 p.m. tomorrow, right back here in Anchorage. But for now, we leave you with a 9-0 Miners win. For Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday evening.